There we go. Okay, so here we are. We're going to start the session now. Basically, what I want to start off by explaining to you guys is how do you access the new marketing suite, okay? So everyone's looking at my screen right now, and I'm on the Independence Title website. The new marketing suite is going to be accessed through your website. So you and any of your clients, you're going to come to the Independence Title website, and then depending what market you're in, right? You're going to click on, let's say we're in DFW, we're going to click on DFW, brings us to the DFW homepage. On this homepage, there's a Tools and Resources button, okay? You're going to click on Tools and Resources, and it brings you to this page. Now, as we speak, in the next day or two, we are rebuilding this page, and we're going to add a new link to it. So right now, we have these links down the left-hand side. We're going to be adding a new link right here called Marketing Tools, okay? Now this page is not built yet, so I'm just going to show you a mock-up of what it will look like once it's built. This is what it's going to look like. So there'll be a new link right here called Marketing Tools, which you will click on, and you'll have this page display. And this is really just a summary page of all of the marketing tools that we offer. If I scroll down, you can see them all. Up here at the top, you have two big buttons. You can create a free account. So you would click here, you would go to the account creation page. All you would do on that page is enter an email address, a password, and then you just tick whether it is you are a sales agent or a real estate agent, right? Or a photographer. We have photographers who have accounts as well. That's all you do to create your free account. If you already have an account created and you want to get into the marketing tools, you come to this page and you just click on Sign In. So it's just that easy. You're either creating a free account for the first time or you're signing in. And that's going to be how you access the marketing tools always through the Independence Title website. Okay? So let's go back there. Now let's say we've just signed in. Here we are on your dashboard. This is the marketing suite. We call it the dashboard page. Everybody's dashboard page looks the same. Whether you're a sales rep or a real estate agent, or as I said, we have photographers as well, when they log into their accounts, everyone comes to the dashboard page. Now I'm just going to give you guys a quick little brief tour of the dashboard page. Oh, here we go. Yes, so Megan, I believe someone asked that at the last session too, I think right about the same time. I know a handful of you already have Realtour accounts, and I do believe that we did set you guys up so that when you log in now, you will come to this dashboard page, which is all branded for Independence Title. And you can log in right from the Independence Title site as well. So we've already set that up, so you're good to go. You will always land on this dashboard page, not the old Realtour one, but the new Independence Title one. Okay. So just to give you guys a quick little tour, here we are on the home page. We have a row of a row of drop-down menu buttons here across the top. What if the realtors already have a login? Good question. If they log in from your website, I do believe they come to this dashboard page, because the system will detect that they're coming from Independence Title, so they'll end up here. Okay. Okay, oh, Amanda's answering that as well. Okay, so let's look at our drop-down buttons across the top of the page up here. So under My Dashboard, here are all of our marketing products, right? So here's the drop-down menu. These are the same marketing products that we have right here, but we've just repeated them in a drop-down so that if you're in the middle of making a virtual tour and you're no longer on this page and you want to escape and go make an e-flyer instead, you can always access them through the drop-down buttons. We have My Account, okay? I'm going to go into this one because you guys are going to make your own accounts. You're going to set them up, so I want to show you quickly how to do that. So you have My Contact Info, Headshots, and Logos. Let's click on My Contact Info. It brings us to a simple page. It's really just a form. You're going to fill in your name, okay? You can fill in your address, and this is usually people will use their office addresses. If you think you're ever going to be shipping print materials to your office address or to your home address anywhere, you can fill in a shipping address if you want. Fill in your mobile number. If you want to add an additional email address, you can. It could be the address of your assistant, because every email that gets sent to you from Realtour, like an order confirmation email or anything, will also go to an email address in here. So a lot of our clients will fill in their assistant's address as well. You can put in your website. Now, the reason I stress that people take a few minutes, right, and fill in all of this information is because a lot of this stuff will auto-populate into your marketing products as you're making them. And I'll show you all of that as we go along. So I always tell people, you know what, it only takes a minute. Just fill in the form and then it's done. And then you never have to do it again. And as you'll see, it will come in really handy and save you a lot of time. So there's our contact info. Headshots, pretty self-explanatory. You can upload a bunch of headshots. Now, we are in my test account. This is my training account, so I've just uploaded a bunch of headshots of just random people, right? Most people are going to have one or two headshots. If you work with a partner on a lot of listings, you might want to upload their headshot as well. Okay, so you can keep your headshots in here. Same thing with logos. Now again, I've just uploaded a whole bunch of logos for testing, but most people will have a couple logos, a color one, a black and white one. You can upload your logos in here, okay, and they'll always be saved. Okay, so that's what you're going to do when you set up your account. Take a few minutes and fill in this information because it will really save save you time and stuff later. Okay, next up is shopping cart. Shopping cart's pretty basic. You can go to your shopping cart at any time, or you can check your shopping cart history at any time. Okay, so that's always nice. If you maybe you sent out an e-flyer a month ago and you don't remember how much you spent on it, or you don't remember how many people you sent it to, you can always go to your shopping cart history and just take a quick look and go, oh, right, I spent 50 bucks on that e-flyer blast. Okay, good, I'm going to do it again, right? So you can always check that. Pricing, if you ever want to know what the prices are for any of our products, right here, virtual tours, e-flyers, everything. You can just click on the button, you'll go to a page that will show you the pricing. Statistics. So every Monday, we send out a statistics report letting you know how many people have, clicked or read your e-flyer, how many people have watched your virtual tour. If you sent out a newsletter, how many people have clicked on your newsletter. Anything that you sent out that we can record the clicks or the views, we include on the statistics reports. So you get a report of that every Monday, but you can also click on statistics and go in by listing and look at the actual numbers at any time you want. You don't have to wait till Monday. You can do it at any time right here in statistics. Next up, we have help and support. So if your clients or yourself are in the middle of making something and you run into a wall and you just can't remember how to get past it, you're like, oh, I can't remember what I'm supposed to do on this page. You need help with something, just click on help and support. We do have a live chat line. And it's basically just Amanda and myself that man it during business hours. So you can live chat back and forth with us if you need help with something, okay? So that's help and support. All right, so these are the menu drop-down buttons across the top of the page. Here we are on the dashboard. What we're going to go through first of all with myself are the marketing products, okay? And these are our most popular products. We've got photography, virtual tours, e-flyers, print materials, and we've just added farming, okay? And we'll go through farming at the end. What we're going to start with is photography. Okay, so something that I always, always, always say to our agents, and you guys should too, it's so, so worth it to invest in a professional photo shoot when you get a listing. I can't stress enough. I mean, you will get beautiful, professional, quality photography, right, that you can use in all of your marketing products going forward. It'll make your stuff look amazing. Even the smallest listing, having professional photography makes such a huge difference in your marketing material. And also, I think all of our photographers offer a very basic photo shoot. I think the cheapest one is about $100 or $120 and you get 30 photos for it. So even the most basic one, it's worth it, okay? Now I'm going to show you how to order a photo shoot and you'll see just how easy it is. So let's say I'm a real estate agent and I just got a brand new listing. And the first thing I want to do is get my photo shoot booked because I want to have my pictures ready so I can start making my marketing material. So I'm going to log into my dashboard page. I'm going to click on photography. Okay. The first page I come to is the listings page. And I'm always, always, always going to come to my listing page no matter what product I'm in. The listing page, we always have our listings divided into two groups. The left-hand column, these are listings that already exist in the system. I've already created these, and they already have the product. Whatever the product is, in this case, this listing already has a photo shoot that's been done for it. Maybe it was 6 months ago, maybe it was a year ago, but that's why it's in the left-hand column. These listings here on the right, these are also listings that I've created in the system, but they don't have the product. So I haven't ordered a photo shoot for them. And as I said, this is just a test account, so these are just fake listings that I've made up so I can show people how to use the system. If I'm coming into my product for the first time and I don't have my listing set up, I need to create my listing. You will always have to create your listing, okay, when you at the beginning of making a product. So let's click on Create Listing. I come to this page. Now we call this the property details page, and there's a lot of stuff on this page, a lot of fields that you need to fill in. However, just to get started, you only need to fill in the required fields, and there's only 4 of them, the ones that are outlined in orange. That's all you need to do to get started. You can come back, as you will see, you can come back to this page at any point when you're making your products and fill in the rest of the content if you want. So if you're in a rush, you've got a meeting in 10 minutes, but you just want to get this photo shoot booked so you can, get it rolling, all you have to do is come here, fill in your 4 fields. So let's do that now. Let's just make up an address for today. Let's call this 111, Monday Street. These are my Monday morning typing skills. I'm just going to say I'm in Austin. Let's say we are in Texas, and there's my zip code. Okay, so that's all I had to do. I get a pop-up. This pop-up is asking me if I want to include my listing on House Hunt. Now, for right now, I'm just going to skip this part because Amanda's going to explain to you guys and give you a run-through of what House Hunt is later on in the tutorial. So for right now, I'm just going to close that, and we'll get back to it later. Okay, so there we go. All I had to do was fill in those 4 fields. I get a Create Listing button. Okay. That's all I had to do. It's going to take me to the next page. Here we are. So now I'm on the available photography page. These are the photographers that cover my zip code of the listing I just created. If I scroll down, I'll see, I think there's 5. There are 5 different photographers that will cover this zip code. Now I can go through every photographer. I can look, they all have a portfolio I can look at. They all have a pricing pop-up. I can go in there and take a look at all their packages, what they cost, what kind of services they offer, because some of our photographers do panorama photography, some of them do aerials, some of them do video shoots. A lot of the guys have drones now, so a lot of the guys will all offer different products. They are very competitive with each other, and they all know each other, so a lot of their packages are going to be very similar, and the pricing is going to be similar as well. Okay, so we also have an availability calendar for each guy, so you can check and see what dates he's available. Now let's say David is the guy we want to use. Maybe we know David, maybe someone recommended him, but he's the photographer we want to book. So I just pick the date I want. Let's say, you know what, I really want this done tomorrow, and he's available tomorrow. Let's go for it. I just click on the date. It brings me to the order page. So this is the same as the pop-up photography pricing we just looked at, only this time I'm actually going to tick the package that I want. So I can scroll down, see what I've got. Let's just tick a basic photo shoot. Okay, he does 25 for 125. Scroll down, I hit continue. Okay, it brings me to this page. This page I need to give David some basic instructions on how to access the property. So if there's a lockbox, I can put the code in there. Or if I'm going to meet him at the property, here's my phone number. And my phone number auto-populated because I have it in my account. So that's one place where I don't have to type it in. Or maybe the owner's going to be home. I can tick that and put the owner's name and phone number. If there's any special instructions I want to type in, like maybe there's a dog in the yard he needs to look out for, or maybe the owner just had some landscaping done and they want some photography of the new gardens, anything I want to type in, I can. Okay, once I've got this stuff filled in, I just add it to the shopping cart. Here we are in the shopping cart. Okay, so whenever you order a product, when you come to the shopping cart, you're going to have a little summary of your order. So here we go. Here's the photo shoot. This was the package. Here's the property that I've ordered it for. That's the date I've booked it for. Okay, and look, Platinum Virtual Tour, $0. Wait a minute, what happened there? Here is another incentive to get your clients to book a photo shoot. With every single professional photo shoot they book, they automatically get a free Platinum Virtual Tour. That's our best virtual tour. It's worth $30. So not only do they get these beautiful photographs that they can use in their marketing material, they get the virtual tour for free. Okay? Now also, I always tell everybody, we have built a back end for our photographers to use as well. So in their accounts, they have their own back end. And the reason we've done this is to make the agent's life easier. So David, when he has done his photo shoot and the pictures are processed and they're good to go, he can log into his account, upload the photography, and send them into the agent's account and create the virtual tour all in one go. This eliminates the nightmare for a lot of our clients of having to get the photos from their photographer. A lot of our clients they're not comfortable using zipped folders. They don't know how to go to Dropbox or any of those file sharing sites and downloading stuff. They don't want to do it, and I don't blame them. It's a bit of a hassle. So this is so much easier. Once David's done all of this, if I was the agent, I would get an email from Realtour saying, hey, Jenna, your photo shoot's done. You can click here in the email to download your pictures or watch your virtual tour, or I can log into my account, go into photography or go into virtual tours, access my pictures, access my tour. It's all done for me, okay? I don't have to go out there and try to get the pictures. So that's just another reason, just to make your life easier, another incentive to book a photo shoot. And that's it. So we went through the process. Once you get your photographer chosen and most of our clients will choose the same photographer and choose the same package every time. You can book a photo shoot in less than 5 minutes. It's that easy. Now I'm going to delete this order out of the shopping cart so that we don't accidentally book something with David, but you'll see when you're in the shopping cart, there's always going to be a delete button beside anything you order. So you can always get rid of it. And then our shopping cart is empty. So let's go back to the dashboard. Okay, so we just went through and ordered a photo shoot. No problem. Next up, we're going to look at virtual tours. So this is our biggest product. It kind of takes the longest to go through, okay? So that's why we're doing it right up here at the beginning when everyone is still awake and has energy, which is good. So let's click on virtual tours. Okay. This page looks familiar, right? Because this was the same page we saw when we booked the photo shoot. It's our listings page. The left-hand column, these are all the same listings, but these are the ones that have virtual tours. These virtual tours are finished, they're published, they're paid for. That's why they're over here in the left-hand column. The right-hand column, these are listings that I've created in the system, but either I haven't finished my virtual tour, it's still in progress, or I haven't even really started it. So here's the one we just made, 111 Monday Street. Now it's waiting for images, so it's going to sit here. Now I could go in and edit that tour and build it from scratch for today's session if I wanted to, or just to save us a little bit of time because it is a long session, I'm going to choose one of my existing listings that already has content so we can see how that goes, okay? Now beside each listing, you'll see that I can check these statistics for how many people have viewed my tour. I can edit the tour. I can also set the tour to be inactive. Okay, and we'll have an inactive button beside all of your listings so that once the listing is off the market, you can set it to inactive. It will store your tour, all of your information on our inactive page. Okay, so setting it inactive doesn't delete it out of our system. It just stores it on the inactive listings page. Just in case the listing's only been temporarily taken off the market, you might want to get it back at some point. You can always get it back. Okay? All right, so just to save us some time, let's choose this listing, 123 Congress Avenue. This is my test listing. I'm going to click on Edit Tour just so we can get into the back end so you can see it. All right, so now we're in the back end of the tour. First thing I want to point out to everybody is that we have what we call a navigation bar that stretches across the width of the page. Every product that we are in, there's going to be a navigation bar like this. This is so you can navigate around throughout the process without having to necessarily go through every single page if you don't want to. A lot of these features, as I'll show you, are optional. And if you don't want to do, floor plan or agent branding or SEO, you don't have to go through every page. You could start at the beginning, jump, pick some music, jump to the shopping cart. If you're back here on the proof and you see a mistake, you can jump right back to manage photos or anywhere you want without having to go back, next, next, next. Just makes your life a bit easier, okay? Navigation bar. First page on the navigation bar is property details. Now this page might look familiar as well because when I booked my photo shoot and I clicked on create listing, this is the exact same page where I had to fill in the 4 required fields. This is what the page looks like when it's fully populated with all of the information, okay? So I've got a photo, I've got all my fields filled in, I've typed in a paragraph, a property description, I'm good to go. This is all the information I need. Now, just because I filled this in doesn't mean I can't also edit it at any time. As I mouse over these, you can see these are live. So if I want to change my price, I can come in here and let's say they've dropped the price to $520. Okay, I change the price, I just click away and it's saved. Most of our products, you'll notice we do not have a save button. It's because our system will just save a change you make immediately. Okay? All right, so property details page, filled in, good to go, we're happy with it. Let's move to the next one, manage photos. Okay, so on this page, this is where I'm going to upload, download, manage all of my photography for my tour. Now, if I had booked a photo shoot, the photographer uploads the pictures and they show up here on the Manage Photos page. However, you do not have to have a professional photographer and professional photography to use our products. If you have your own pictures, you can use your own pictures. If you go out and take your own, photos with your own camera, or maybe you have a photographer who works for another company who's just going to send you the pictures, that's no problem, okay? We have an upload images button right here. So you can upload your own images at any time. I'll just show you very easy. If I click on upload images, now I'm in my computer. On my desktop, I have a folder called images. So you're going to have to navigate on your computer to wherever you have it, images. Okay, let's just pick a picture. Let's pick that one. Actually, I'll tell you, you don't have to upload these one at a time. I could select all of these pictures and hit go, and it will upload them all. But I'm not going to do that because that'll take a while because some of these are pretty big. Let's just pick one just to show you. Okay, now I can watch it uploading right down here in the little progress bar. Once it's finished uploading, it's going to appear up here as a little thumbnail. Okay, so a lot of people will use their own photographs, and that's totally fine. You can upload 60 if you want. Okay, it's going to refresh. There's a thumbnail of my new picture. There it is right there. Okay, if I change my mind, I don't like it, and I want to delete it, I can delete it. Okay, at any time. Done. All right, so your options are you can upload photos, which are just regular old pictures. You can upload panos. Panos are those panoramic pictures. If I mouse over, you can see it in the pop-up. Okay, they're a 360-degree view of a room. Now, typically it's going to be a professional photographer who goes and does this kind of photography. But if you have them, you can upload them right here, okay, and then they will play in your tour. They'll spin around and show the whole room. If you have a video, you can upload a video. Maybe your photographer does video work, or maybe you went through the house with your phone even and took a video of something and you want to include that, you can do that. Some of our photographers do 3D video shoots. You can upload those. If you have a floor plan of your property and you want to include that, you can upload a JPEG or a PDF of your floor plan. I've got a bunch uploaded here. And then again, we just have your headshots and logos. These are the exact same headshots and logos that I showed you under my account, okay? So they're no different. You don't have to have separate ones uploaded for your tour and stuff. If I want to upload more, I can, but it's just that you can access them in here as well. Let's go back to photos. There's a couple more things I want to show you. Okay, the order that we see the pictures right now, this is the order that they're going to play in our tour. So this is going to be picture number 1, followed by picture number 2, so on and so forth. If I want to change the order of these, I can just click on the little thumbnail here, see how I can move it around, and I can move it. Maybe I want this to be over here, okay? Maybe I want this one to be at the very end. Whoops. There we go. So you can click on them and move them around. The final thing to do on this page, you'll notice there's a link on each one that says add or edit caption. If I would like to add a caption to any of these pictures, I just click on that link and I get a little pop-up. There's my picture. There's a couple text fields where I can add in a caption. Now I can type in a location. So for example, front of house. It's like a little title. And then here I can type in whatever caption I want. Amazing new home in downtown area. Anything you want. Now obviously you're not going to type more than a line or two because in a virtual tour your image only shows for a few seconds, so you can't type in a paragraph of text because nobody has time to read it. So you just want to type in a couple things that sort of highlight something we're looking at. Now as I've typed these in, they've shown up here on the picture. That's how they're going to look. I have a few options with fonts. Okay, so if I tick a different font, you'll see it change right up here so I can see what they look like. Pick one that I like, okay? You have to have the same font for every picture. You can't have a different font for every single caption. So once I've chosen one font, that's it for all my fonts. Now if I want to add more captions, I can click next image. It'll take me to the next image. Okay, same thing. I can type in something here. You just really want to point out special features. Maybe there's a skylight or something amazing that you want to point out, okay? You do not have to have captions on every single picture. If you want to leave a couple blank, that's totally fine. It's not an all or nothing situation. You can have some and you can leave some blank. Okay? That's all you have to do to add your captions. Type them in. You don't even have to hit save. The system saves it automatically. When you're done, we just close. We're back on this page. If you ever need to get back in there and edit, Just click the link again and you're right back there and you can edit your text. Super, super easy. Final thing on the Manage Photos page, I showed you how to upload images. You can also download images out of this page as well. So for example, if your photographer has taken the pictures for you, then they are here in your Realtour account and they're saved in your Realtour account, but they're not saved on your own computer at home. And you might want to do that, especially if you want to download them and then upload them into the MLS, or maybe your client would like a folder of all the images as well. You can download them. You just click on the download drop-down box. You've got 5 different sizes that you can choose from. Okay, I know MLSs are different in different places. Some like the 640, some like the 1024. So you find out what size is appropriate for your MLS and you can download it that size. Okay, there we go. Done with Manage Photos. Next up, Map Location. Map Location, there's not much to do on this page. All we've got is a Google map, and it's just verifying that this is our listing address right here. This is our listing. The little target is should be in the appropriate place. However, as I always say, sometimes Google doesn't get it quite right, especially if you're in a new neighborhood or a new subdivision. Maybe they don't have the streets mapped out quite perfectly, in which case you can click on your little target guy and you can just move it to where it's supposed to be. Maybe it's supposed to be right here, okay, instead. And that's it, okay? That's all you have to do on the map location page. This one's really easy. Next up is Floor Plan Creator. This is one of those optional items. So you might remember back here on the Manage Photos, I showed you that I'd upload some floor plans. Okay, if I want to include my floor plans, I've got to set up a location, so main floor, second floor. I can drag and drop my floor plan over to the appropriate floor, and then it shows up here a little bit bigger so I can see it. And then I've got my photos. They appear on the Photos tab. These are the same photos that I have on my Manage Photos page. Let's say I want to illustrate my floor plan. All I do is click on my pictures and I drag and drop them to the appropriate location on my floor plan. And you'll notice when I did that, I got a little camera icon. And if I click on that camera icon, I get a little pop-up window that shows the picture nice and big. So that's a picture of the family room. Okay, so here is like the front foyer right there. There's another living room, so I can drag and drop these over. There's a dining room. Here's a bedroom. Okay, so I can illustrate my floor plan with my photographs if I want. Now keep in mind we are in the back end of the tour right now. Once we're done, I'll go very quickly through the front end so that you guys can see what all of these pages look like for the viewer, okay? Because right now we're in the back end. So that's all we have to do for the floor plan creator. This is optional. If you don't have a floor plan or you don't want to bother with this, just skip this section. You don't have to do it. Next up is flyer selector. This is another optional item. So I've already made a flyer for this listing. I've done an e-flyer, I've done print material, I've done all that stuff ahead of time. All of these little thumbnails of these products are right here on this page. If I scroll down, you can see I've got all these different flyers. And this is because this is just a test account. A lot of people are going to come to this page and they haven't even done a flyer yet because they're starting out with their virtual tour. At which case you can just skip this section for now and carry on because you can always come back here later. You might be doing your e-flyer tomorrow or your print postcard tomorrow or something. No problem. You can come back in here tomorrow, get into the back end of your virtual tour, go straight to the flyer selector, and then a little thumbnail of the product you made is going to show up here. And if you want to associate one of your pieces of print material or e-flyers with your virtual tour, you just drag and drop it over here and you're done. And now when someone is watching your tour and they go to the flyer page, they'll be able to download a PDF of your flyer and print it or save it onto their own computer. Okay? So this is just if you want to associate a flyer with your tour, totally optional. Agent branding. This is another easy page. This is where we just make a couple simple decisions on how we want to brand our tour. Okay, so my headshots and my logos are here. I can drag and drop a headshot over. This is the headshot that will then show on my tour. Okay, so pick the headshot that you want. Same with logo. Drag and drop my logo over. These are the two that will show up on my tour. Here are my contact details, already auto-populated because I have it filled in under my account. Okay, but I can still change them. If that's not the phone number I want to use, I can still click in here and just type in a new phone number, right? Click away, it's saved. If I have 2 agents on this listing, I can tick 2 agents And then I got another headshot area, right? And I can drag and drop a picture over and have 2 headshots. Final item on this page, you can select a player theme. All that means is really a different color to go on the front of your player. So you might want to pick one that matches your logo or something, right? Like gray or red. Let's choose blue. Okay, so we've got some blue and red in our logo. Let's say we want to go with blue. That's all we do on this page. We've got our headshot, our logo, we've got the correct contact details for our agents, and we're going to go with a blue player skin. That's all we do on agent branding. Next up is SEO, search engine optimization. For anybody who's not familiar with search engine optimization, just to give the most basic explanation of it, when someone goes to a search engine like Google and they type in some keywords because they're searching for a property, maybe they're looking for a 3-bedroom home in downtown Dallas and they want a swimming pool. So they're going to type that into Google, hit go, and then the search results are going to come up that match those keywords, right? It's looking for stuff that matches what you're searching for. So you can, if you want, but as I've said, this is optional as well, you can type in some SEO keywords here so that when someone searches for certain stuff, there's a good chance that your tour is going to show up in the search results. Whoops, sorry, I just clicked. To make your life a little bit easier, we've taken the listing description that you entered back here on the property details page and we've dumped it in here so that if you're having trouble thinking up some keywords, you can take them right out of here, like 1-bedroom, den, condo, that kind of thing. But I'm sure most agents are going to be able to fill in their SEO, no problem. So maybe we've got a 4-bedroom, downtown, spelling is important, Dallas, that kind of thing, okay? If you want to save them, click Update the Keywords. Now, if someone searches for any of those keywords, there's a good chance that your tour is going to show up in their search results. So it only takes a second to do it, and it can make a big difference between someone finding your virtual tour online. Music selector. This is the easiest one. All you have to do if you want to include some background music in your tour is just tick beside the one you want. You can click on any of these and play a sample. Okay, now I've got a headset on, so you won't be able to hear anything. But you find the one that you like and you tick it, and now you've got background music. If you don't want music, just tick no music. But anybody who's watched a virtual tour and you know, that has background music, it really does add a lot to the experience of watching the tour. So I always recommend pick some music. You know, it's just a nicer experience. It kind of elevates the experience of someone, you know, watching your photography. It just makes for a nicer presentation. So I always recommend picking some background music. Okay, what's next? View proof. This sounds good. Sounds like we're almost done, and we are. View proof. This is your chance to watch the tour, see if there are any issues with it, any mistakes, before we send it out there, okay? So we click on the play tour. We get a little mini version of our tour in a little pop-up window. That's what it looks like. Okay, now I can watch the tour. It's going to go through all my pictures, which I'm not going to do today because that will take a while. I'm just going to stop the tour. Okay, when I stop the tour, I get all of my little icons. These pop up. These represent the pages that we just built in the back end. Property details. If I click on that, here's my property details page. This is what it looks like from the front end. It's the same stuff as the back end, but it's just laid out differently. So take a look at it. Make sure all of the information is correct, the price, all my contact information, so on and so forth. Floor plans. Here's what my floor plans look like from the front end. If I click on a picture, I get a nice pop-up. Oh, that's what it looks like. Okay. Next up is my map. Okay, my Google map. There's my property. Next up, forward. Now this is something that you didn't have to do in the back end. This is something that we just do for you. If you want to forward this tour to a friend, you can type in their name, their email address, and then here's the stuff that will get sent to them, and it's a link, and they'll be able to watch the tour. So if someone's watching, like, oh, I love this house, I'm going to send it to my husband or my sister, I want her to see it too, I can do that right here. This was the print flyer. Remember I dragged over one of my print flyers so people can download a PDF of the print flyer if they want, okay? If I didn't bother doing the print flyer, then this icon just wouldn't show up in my tour, okay? So it's totally optional. We still offer the ability to download the tour. I always tell people, I don't think many people use this anymore because it's getting old. This allows you, if you click here, you can download all the files, images, everything that were used to create the tour, and then you can then burn those onto a CD and hand them out at open houses, things like that. Most people don't do that anymore. Most people will just copy the link, the URL, and email it to somebody, and then you can click on the link, and there you go. It's a lot easier than downloading and burning onto CDs, but we've still got it because we still have a few agents who want to use it. Last is a contact page. So we've created a little contact page for you as well. So if I'm watching the tour and I really like it, I can send some feedback. I can put in my name, my email address, all my feedback. I can fill in this cute little questionnaire about what I liked about the property. If I want to request a showing, I can click on request showing. I can pick a date. You know what? I'm free on Friday, and I'm free Friday afternoon. I want to see it then. Hit submit. Now myself, the agent, will get an email from this viewer with all their details, and I can reach out to them and take them out and see the property, okay? So we can go through the entire tour this way. If I hit play, I can play the tour again, okay? Watch it all, listen to my music, do all that stuff. If there's anything I want to change, remember, I'm just in a pop-up right here. The view proof is just a pop-up. I can close my pop-up. I'm back in the back end. I can use my navigation bar to jump back to anything I want and make changes. If I saw a typo in one of my captions, jump back to manage photos, find the picture, click on edit the caption. There it is, edit it, close, jump back to view proof, and just hit play, and I'll see the change immediately. Okay? So that's all you're going to do in the view proof is just make sure everything is the way it should be. Next up, virtual tour links. Okay, so as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we've made our tour and we can watch our tour, but right now it's only live and saved in my Realtour account. It is not out there on the internet for anyone to see. I have to manually do that, okay? And I do that on the links page. I have all these different tabs. The first tab is just called links. These two links are live because this is a test tour, it's paid for. These links, if I click on them, will play my tour. This is the link that you're going to copy and paste into your MLS account. When you set up your listing on the MLS, this is the link that you're going to put in there so people can watch your tour. If someone wants it by email, you can copy the link here, send it by email. If they click on it, they're going to watch the tour. You have a branded link that will show your contact information, your headshot logo. You have an unbranded link which will show none of that. Depends what you want. It depends on your MLS. They're all different. Some allow branded, some allow unbranded. If you want to link your tour to Realtor.com, you just type in the MLS number and hit send link. Your tour will show up on Realtor.com usually within an hour or two. At the worst case scenario, within 24 hours, it'll show up on Realtor.com. Domain name. This is optional. Right now, the domain name, the URL to watch our tour is this. Back here on the links, it's this. Some people don't like the way that looks. It's long, it's convoluted, it's got junk in it. They don't like it. They want something simpler. They just want www.123congressavenue.com. If you want to do that, you can type in and hit check it, and the system will check and see if that domain name is available. If it is, you can add it to your shopping cart. It's an additional $19.99 to the cost of your tour, okay? If you don't care about the link, and most people don't bother buying a domain name, you can just leave it as it is. You don't have to do this. Optional, just skip over it. QR code. For every single tour that we make, we automatically generate a QR code for you to use. If you want to download it, you can just click here and you will download a JPEG of it. Maybe you've got some signage being made for your property and you want to send this QR code to the sign guy so we can print it on the signage so people can just scan it with their phones, and then they'll be able to watch your virtual tour on their phone or their iPad or something. So you've always got a QR code available to you that you can download. YouTube. If you want to put your tour on YouTube, just click on YouTube. If you're coming here for the first time, there's going to be an authorization button. You just have to authorize Realtour to upload your tours on your behalf. If you have a YouTube channel already, like I do, then your tours will be hosted on your YouTube channel. If you don't have a YouTube channel, that's fine. We can host them on the Realtour channel. Either way, your tours are on YouTube, and if someone's on YouTube and they search for it, they'll get your tour, okay? Maximum exposure. This is just if you want to add your listing to a few more sites like Vast, Trulia, and Zillow. You just tick. That's all you have to do. And within a day or two, your listings will appear on these 3 sites. I'm going to untick these because I don't want my fake listing to appear on those sites. All right, last up, statistics. If you want to add anybody, Maybe your client, you want them to also receive that Monday statistics report so they can see how many people have been watching the tour. You can type in the contact name, email address, and add them. And then every Monday, whoever you've added is going to get the stats report for 123 Congress Avenue. This is what you do on your virtual tour links page, okay? So there's quite a few items. You don't have to do all of them. The most important thing is that your links are here. This is where you access your links. Okay, so last up would just be going to your shopping cart. Now my tour is already paid for because this is one of my testing accounts, but when you get to the shopping cart, you just pay for your tour, then you can come back in here and all of your links are going to be live. Then you can send it to Realtour.com, send it to MLS, all that stuff. You're good to go. Your tour can go out there onto the internet. All right, guys, that was the virtual tour. That is the biggest, most complicated product we have. It takes the longest to go through. We're done. Let's go back to dashboard. Okay, so far we've gone through ordering a photo shoot, making a virtual tour. Next up, e-flyers. Now most people, when they've done a virtual tour, then want to do an e-flyer, which they will blast out to the real estate community, and the e-flyers link to the virtual tour. So when someone gets your e-flyer in their inbox, they can click on it and they can watch your virtual tour. So most people will do these two together. They always want to do an e-flyer as well. So let's do an e-flyer, okay? I'm going to click on e-flyers. Again, it's going to bring me to a page with my listings. These are my listings that I've already done an e-flyer blast and paid for, done. These are listings that exist in my system that I either haven't even made an e-flyer for at all, like the one we did this morning, or maybe I've made an e-flyer but I haven't blasted it out yet. I want to wait till next week. I just wanted to get it done. Or I can start from scratch and create a new listing. So just to save us a bit of time, we're going to use our test listing because it already has pictures and stuff uploaded to it. But we're going to click on Create New so we can at least go through the process together of how you make an e-flyer. Making an e-flyer is really easy. It's really fun, okay? Here we are in the back end of the e-flyer creator. We just happen to be on the template library page because I wanted to create something new. I could skip right to the library. You'll see we have a navigation bar across the top, slightly different pages than the virtual tour because it's not a virtual tour, so we've got some different things to do. If I was to jump back to property details, it's the exact same property details page as we saw in the virtual tour. We do this so that once you create your listing and upload your pictures and enter all your information, you never have to do it again. It's in the system. It doesn't matter what product you then want to make. You've already done this once. This stuff is going to show up for whatever product you are in, okay? Makes your life easier. You don't have to go through the same steps twice, okay? Just to show you any existing e-flyers, so as I said, in my test account, I've got a whole bunch of existing flyers whenever I'm doing test stuff. They show up in here. If I wanted to resend an existing flyer to the same people, I can do that. Maybe I want to send out the same flyer once a week for the next 3 weeks. I can edit an existing flyer, make some changes, and then blast it out again. I can delete it if I made one with a mistake, I don't like it. I can download a PDF of my flyers as well. So that's what's on the existing page right here. I've got a whole bunch. Let's go back to the template library because we're going to make one from scratch. Template library. It always looks like this. We always have a list of categories down the left-hand side. These are all the different themes that you can choose from for the designs. And then over here on the right, you're going to have little thumbnails of the flyers themselves. So you can go through, take a look. Like say we have America, we have all these different states. We have Texas, we have Dallas. These are some Dallas themed templates that you could look at. We have some holiday ones like Christmas, New Year's, fun stuff like that. We have some nature-themed ones. We have some lifestyle-themed ones. Maybe you've got a listing that's appropriate for a retired couple. It's a condo and you want to send one that's kind of themed that way. You can do that. Okay, back up to my favorites. These are pretty small, kind of hard to see. What's this going to look like in the finished product? So for each template underneath, we have a preview and a select button. If I click on preview, I get a nice big pop-up so I can see what the finished product could look like with content in it. Okay, great. Love the way it looks. This is the one I want. Close my little pop-up. If this is the one I want to use, I just click on select. The system is going to start making my template for me. Now this usually takes a few seconds. Here we go. The reason it takes a few seconds to make the template is because it is going to auto-populate as many fields as it can with information from my account and information from property details. So remember I told you guys that you would see as we went through the process why it's so great, it's so important, and just like it just saves you so much time to take 5 minutes when you create your account and fill in this information. Same thing when you're doing your property details, take 5 minutes and fill it in, because look, once you get to the template, all of this information is auto-populated. There's my address, there's my property description, there's my price, here's my logo, my headshot, all my contact information. This stuff is already here in the template for me. I don't have to do anything, it's already done. However, that doesn't mean I can't change it if I want. You'll see if I mouse over any of these text fields, they're live text fields. So I can click on any of these and change the content. I'm going to click on this one. I get a nice text box editor in a pop-up window that's bigger because some of these text fields are small. And if you're working on a smaller screen, it's hard to see. So we put the text in a bigger pop-up box so you can see what you're doing. I can add new text if I want, right? I could delete some of this text. I've got a few basic options for editing, right? Like I can center it, so I could highlight my text and I could make it all centered. I could bold my text. Maybe I like the way it looks bold. Italicize. I can change the font color to these basic colors. I can change the size, right? I can also do bulleted lists or numbered list. So that's basically what you can do in here. Now I don't really want that to be bolded, and I think I liked it left aligned. So I can undo everything as well. When I'm done, I just hit OK. You'll see that it's rendering. It's the other nice thing about our eFlyer creator. Whenever you make a change to your template, it's going to render that change and you get to see it in real time without leaving this page. So I don't have to jump to a view proof page, check it out, and then come back to the template editor page. I can see the changes, how they're going to look in the finished product right here in front of me. Okay? So those are the text fields. You can mouse over, click on any of them, change any of them. You can delete any of them. For some reason, if you don't want your price to show up, you can click on price, highlight the text, delete, hit OK. Now the template's going to render that change and that price is gone. Now it's gone. But as I mouse over, there's still a text field. If I want to get it back, I just click and I can type in something else, like call me for price, something like that. Okay? So that's the text, really easy to use. Now we need some images in our template. So you notice over here we have a little, what we call the little photo bucket. Okay, it's like a miniature version of the Manage Photos page that we saw on the virtual tour. I've got photos, floor plans, headshots, and logos. Now I can upload more photos if I want. These are the same photos that we had on my virtual tour page, right? Exact same pictures that we had in the virtual tour Manage Photos. I can delete them. If I'm ready to use them in my template, all I have to do is click, drag and drop it into the template. Done. I can do that for all of these. Drag and drop them. There's a bedroom. There's a nice one of the deck. Okay? Hit refresh. The system is going to render my images so they're all nice and neat and tidy, lined up, good to go. That's what they're going to look like. If I change my mind, you'll notice each one has a little delete button. If I don't like the picture, I can either delete it or I can pick a new picture and just drag and drop it over top of the old one and hit refresh. Whatever works for you. If there's an image in here that I don't want, just like with the text fields, I can delete some of them. So for example, maybe I don't want this little logo at the bottom. I can just delete that. It's going to render and it's going to delete the image first of all. Okay? And then there's still an image field. So I could drag and drop a different image into that teeny tiny little image field, or I could just delete it as well. Now I've deleted the image and the image field. Now it's going to be gone and I'll just have a nice black background underneath it. If I change my mind and I want to bring that image field back, I can just mouse over, click on it, and it'll come back again. Okay? I just saw a question pop up there. Images can be JPEGs and PDFs and GIFs and PNGs. You can upload all of those. Okay? There we go. So let's say I'm basically done my flyer. Look how quick that was. I mean, if you're in a rush and you've got all your, ducks in a row and all your information is uploaded, you can make your e-flyer in just minutes. You would come here, your text is good to go, you drag over some pictures and you're done. It's great. So I want to move to the next step. I can either click continue or I can use my navigation bar and I see the next step is view proof. All right, so let's take a moment because I'm going to, this is like the moment in the presentation where I always say to people, I cannot stress enough the importance of viewing your proof, especially for e-flyers. Once you send out this e-flyer to the real estate community, maybe you blast it out to 5,000 agents. If you have a mistake in your e-flyer, you cannot get the e-flyer back. It's gone. You have sent it out. Just like when you send someone an email and there's a mistake in it, you can't recall the email and get it back and fix it and resend it, okay? They've already got the one with the mistake in it. That doesn't mean you can't come and fix it and send it out again, but it's going to be a second blast and everyone's going to get a second e-flyer going, what's going on here, you know? It only takes a minute to take a quick look at this. It's nice and big. Make sure everything is correct. Make sure you've got the right price, the right address, your phone number's correct before you blast it out. I swear every day Amanda and I get a panicked phone call from an agent who has just sent out an e-flyer to a huge amount of people for an open house or something, and they've made a mistake. They haven't put the date on it. They haven't put the price on it. They haven't put the time on it. And then they have to come back in, fix it, and blast it out again. It just doesn't look very professional. So take a minute, please, and just proof your work. It's worth it, okay? If you see a mistake, you can jump back to the template editor or click Edit Further. It'll take you back to the editor, okay? Or just to cover your butt even more, click on Client Proof. You can send a proof to your client. Type in their email address, type in some instructions. Hi, Bob, here's the flyer we made for the house. I'm going to send it out tomorrow morning. Let me know if you want any changes. Send proof. Now, Bob, your client gets this image. And he can email you back and say, I love it, it's good to go, or please change out picture number 2, I don't like it. Either way, you get a second opinion, so you can blast it out, okay? Viewing the proof, important. Next, links. On the links page, the first thing we have to do is type in a subject line for our e-flyer. The subject line, it's just like when you send an email to someone and you include a subject line so that they know whether or not what the email's about. Do I need to open it? Is it junk? You're going to do the same thing with your e-flyers. You have to do this. You cannot send it out without a subject line. So you're going to type something that's going to entice somebody to open your email, and they don't, so it doesn't look like junk. You don't want it to be like crazy headline with lots of exclamation points, because that just looks like spam and it probably won't get through people's, spam filters. So, just type in something, amazing new home, great price in Dallas, Agents will be better at coming up with more enticing lines than me, but you get the idea. You have to have a subject line, okay? Next thing on this page, links. You can link your flyer to 3 different URL sites, okay? The first one, most people want their tour, or want their flyer to link to their virtual tour. So to save you time and make your life easier, we've gone ahead and auto-populated this one with the link to your virtual tour, okay? So you don't have to do it. If you have a virtual tour that you've made from a different company, that's fine. You can copy and paste that link in here. These fields are editable. If you don't want your flyer to link to a tour, just click in here and delete this and leave it empty. You don't have to have it linked to a tour. It's up to you. Most people do though, all right? So there's the link to my tour. I now have the option of adding 2 more links if I want to, and these can be anything I want. Like, what about welcome to Dallas? And then whatever that URL is, which I have no idea, but I'm just going to type one in. Okay, and maybe you want, visit my website, right? And then you just type in whatever your URL is. Okay, so now you've got 3 links. It's a very good idea to test these links and make sure they work. Click on Preview eFlyer. You get a pop-up and you can see what your eFlyer is going to look like. Here's my subject line. Here's my email address. There's my flyer. Down at the bottom, I can see my links. If I mouse over them, they're live. Let's click on the Welcome to Dallas and see if it goes to Welcome. There we go, dallas.com. Okay, make sure your links go to the correct website. Okay, this is just a pop-up window. So if you need to make a change, close the pop-up window, make your change, preview it again. If it's good to go, you can click Continue or use the navigation bar and go to the next step, which is Distribution. The distribution page, this is where we select how we're going to blast out our e-flyer. You have 2 options. You can use our Map Blast tool, or if you have your own contact list, you can use the Contact tool, or you can use both at the same time for the same blast. Up to you. Most people use our Map Blast, okay? Let's click on the Map Blast. We get a pop-up window. It's a Google map, okay? Our system is going to generate a target area for you with your listing smack dab in the middle, okay? So we've just gone ahead and started things off for you by making a target area. I can look over here and see that my target area has 3,014 agents. It's going to cost me 30 bucks to blast it to these people. If I'm happy with that and I like the way this looks and I'm good with the price, I can just hit continue and be on my merry way. If I want to edit this, I can edit it. You'll notice that the target area has little handles. I can click on them, move them in, change the shape of them. This is a Google map, so I can just use the controls and zoom in. Okay, I can move around like this too. Maybe I want a more targeted area downtown. I want to be right downtown Austin because that's where my listing is. I want to target all the agents that are downtown, not this high up, but just right here. So you can play around with this, get it the way you want. Every time you make a change to this little summary table is going to update. I now only have 632 agents for $15. If I'm happy with that, continue, and I'm good to go. Okay? If I want to keep playing around with it, I can. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. If I want to add an additional target area for whatever reason, I can just click additional area. It makes me a new one, a purple one. So I can drag this to wherever I want. Maybe for some reason I want it to be down here, south of the city. Oh, look, there's no agents there, so that's not a good idea. Let's go up here. Let's zoom in. Okay, oh wow, that's a pretty heavily populated area. Okay, look at that. There's 979 agents for an additional $8. If I'm happy with that, I can click continue. If I don't like the idea of my target area, I can delete it. Most people are only ever going to have one target area. Occasionally, you might have someone who has two. You can have as many target areas as you want. Just depends on what your listing is, who it's going to appeal to. You might want to zoom all the way out and have a target area in another state. Our database has email addresses for agents all across the United States. So if you want to zoom out, maybe you've got a listing that's appropriate for people who might be relocating for a particular industry. You might want to blast it to agents here in Austin and also to agents in another city in another state. I've seen people do it before, okay? So you can do that. You would just zoom way out, go to your other state, zoom way out. You get the idea, right? Okay, I'm going to zoom back in. Here's my target area. Okay, let's say I'm good to go with this target area. I'm happy. I like the price. I like the amount of people it's going to. I just click continue. I'm back on my distribution page. There's my summary. That's who it's going to. There's my price. Let's say I also have a list of emails that I want to send this flyer to as well. I'm going to click on my contacts. Okay, I've got a little text field up here where I can physically type in an email address. Now I can copy and paste a whole bunch in here as well if I want. If I do that, maybe a lot of people will have like a list of loyal clients or just regular people that they like to always send their marketing material to, even if they're not in the market right now. They just always want to send their flyers and stuff. You could add all of their email addresses in here. Then you could give that group of people a name. Give that distribution list a name, like my best clients. My best clients of 2016. Then you can save that list and it gets added to your list right here of distribution lists. Then every time you do a flyer or a blast, you can just come in and tick it and it will get added and then your flyer will go to these people. You don't have to add in their stuff every single time. So for example, here I have a gold list. Maybe I always send my stuff to the gold list and my best clients of 2016, 11 and 12, okay? You can also upload a CSV file. So if you have a big database of people that you work with in Excel, you can save that as CSV, upload it in here. You can import your Gmail contacts and you can import your Yahoo contacts and create a distribution list for them as well. If I'm happy with this, continue. Okay, I'm back on the distribution page. Here's my new summary, map, my contacts, there's the new total, there's the price. When I'm good to go, I just hit continue. My order goes to the shopping cart. Now it's going to sit in the shopping cart. As soon as I pay for it, my eFlyer blast is going to go out. It goes out immediately. If there's nobody in the queue ahead of me, it's going to go out instantly. If there's a couple people in the queue ahead of me, it might be 10 minutes, it might be 15 minutes, but it's going to go out. Now, if I don't want to send it out right away, I can leave it in my shopping cart. Maybe I want to wait to hear back from my client. Maybe I want to send it out tomorrow because I think it's a better day for doing email marketing. I can do that, okay? But the minute you pay for it, it goes out. All right, we just did an e-flyer. That was fun, right? That was easy. Let's go back to dashboard page. Okay, we've ordered a photo shoot, we've done a virtual tour, we just did our e-flyer blast. Megan, can you schedule a certain time? No, you cannot schedule a certain time. That is something we've talked about, and we have this wish list of improvements and things we want to add. If people are really interested in doing something like that, we have that on our wish list. And I should say that just in general to you guys, if you ever have an idea for something that would enhance one of our products, or one of your clients has a complaint or a suggestion, let us know, because we typically build our products based on feedback from our clients. So if sending out your e-flyer at a specific time really appeals to you, let us know, because we can build it in. Maybe on the distribution page, there's a little tick box where you can say, enter the time you want this to go out, and you can tick it, and then you're done, if you want to do it that way. So those are all great suggestions. At this time, it does not go out at a specific time. You have to do it manually. Once you pay for it, it goes out. But it's possible we could build that in the future. Okay, what's next? Print material. Print material is going to be really quick for us to go through, because you make your print material the exact same way you make your e-flyer. Okay, let's take a quick look. Print material. Here we are, our listings page. Here are all our listings with print material. Here's our listing without print material. Let's go into one of our existing listings. I'm going to click on Create New, because I want you to see in the back end of the print material, the main difference between print material and e-flyer is that you have different template types. E-flyers, you only have one template type, which means you can only make an e-flyer that is 8.5 by 11. And we've done that so that when people make their e-flyer, they can also print the e-flyer and have it at their open house or hand it out in print form. Okay, so if you make an e-flyer, we will automatically create a copy of your e-flyer and dump it into your print material stuff as well, so you don't have to make the same flyer twice. Do you know what I mean? The e-flyer is digital, but our system also creates a print version of it, because it seems silly to go through the effort of making a flyer, blasting it out, but then you also want a print version for your open house. Then you have to go in and remake it from scratch. We don't do that. We make a copy for you, and we put it into your print material. Okay? However, with print material, you might want to do a different type of template. So for example, we have the same e-flyer templates that are single-sided 8.5 by 11. We have double-sided ones, 8.5 by 11, but you can print them double-sided. We have brochures. These are 11 by 17, okay? Double-sided, then typically you fold them in half and you have a little booklet. And then we have postcards. We have a jumbo size and a small size, okay? So these are the different templates you're going to use for Print Creator. I'm just going to go back to an existing item just to save us some time. Here's the one that we just made, right? Let's click on a different one so we can see what a different, oh, that's the same. Let's click on this one just for fun so you can see what it looks like. Let's click on Edit Existing so you can see a different template. Okay, so it brings me into the template editor. Looks familiar, right? It's because it's the exact same template editor as the e-flyer. Template library, template editor are the same. So we don't need to go through making one of these because we just did the e-flyer, but you can see I can mouse over, I can change any of my text fields, I can drag and drop my pictures over, same as e-flyer. When I'm ready to continue, I go to the View Proof page. And again, just like with e-flyer, really take some time to proof your flyer, because if you send this to a printer and print them out, you're spending money. And if there's a big mistake in it, uh-oh, you have to do it all over again. So we're on the View Proof page, okay? Make sure everything is the way you want it. If you see a typo or something doesn't look right, go back to the editor and fix it, and then come back to the proof. On the proof page, you have a couple more options. Now, because we are not blasting this out as an e-flyer, we're in print materials, okay? We're not blasting this out. View proof is the end of the line here, right? We can edit it further. We can download a PDF of it, which we can then print at home on our own printers, or I could download a PDF and put it on a little disc and take it to Staples or Office Depot and get them to print it, okay? If I have my own printer that I like to use, I can choose regular print or full bleed. This is a full bleed template because the images go right to the edge. I can click on this and then send a PDF of this to my printer if I want, printer of my choice. Or if I want to do printing through Realtour, I can order printing from us. So I'm going to click on this to show you guys. Okay, so we are affiliated with Ultimate Imaging. They do all of our print work for us. If you want to use them as your printer, you can click here and fill in their little form. It's very simple. They offer 2 different kinds of paper. These are the prices per unit. let's just say we want to do, let's say we want to do nice paper. Let's say we want 250 copies. I just type that in. There's the price, okay. I have options for picking it up. Now, Ultimate Imaging is in Austin. So if I'm in Austin and I want to pick it up, I can. If I don't, I can have it delivered with UPS. So I can tick UPS. Here's my shipping information. This information has all come from my account. You may not remember this, but on my account page, there was a shipping address section that I filled in. $10. Now, when you fill in your zip code, it will calculate what your UPS fee is. So this listing is in Austin. I'm in Austin. It's only 10 bucks, $10.50 for UPS. If I'm in a different state or a different zip, it's all going to be different based on UPS's rates, okay? That's all I have to do. I hit continue, I go to the shopping cart. Once I pay for it, the order goes through to Ultimate Imaging and everything gets done based on what I've chosen. Either I'm picking it up or they're delivering. That's how you order your prints. Super easy. And again, with print material, you can also send a proof of it to your client so they can sign off on it before you spend some money getting this printed. That's print material. It was pretty quick to go through. As I mentioned, the only difference really between it and making an e-flyer is that you get different template types, and then when you get to the view proof page, you can send it to a printer, okay? Hang in there, guys. We're almost done. We're almost ready for a break. We're going to do one more product, and then we're going to take our break. Farming. Farming is something that we used to offer years ago, and then we discontinued it, but we've brought it back just for you guys, okay? Just for Independence Title. So it's brand new. It's basically ready, but we still want to spend probably a few more days this week just fine-tuning, tweaking, and doing a lot of testing to make sure everything runs smoothly. Now, I'm able to give you a demo of it for sure, even though we're still in the testing phase, but it might be another week before it becomes live, okay? So let's go into farming. Now, with farming, you're going to make postcards, okay? So that's what you're going to use when you do your farming. Just to save us a bit of time, again, listings with postcards, listings without. I'm going to go into my test listing and find a postcard. Click on edit. Now I've got two existing postcards. I'm going to choose this one and click edit. Okay, we're in the back end. This looks just like the print creator, right? Navigation bar across the across the top. I've been talking for too long now. We've got a template library with all different kinds of postcards. Actually, maybe I'll show you that just really quickly so you can see some of the categories. So we have all different kinds of, just like with our e-flyers and our print material, you can send all different kinds of postcards. We've got lots of fun holiday ones. We've got fun real estate and housing tip ones that you might want to send to people. They don't always have to be just listed or just sold cards. Sometimes it's stuff about, you know, properties and things like that. We've got American themed ones, artistic themed ones, stuff like that, okay? Just so you can see there's different ones. Let's go back into edit template. The only difference, these templates, because they're double-sided, when you're in the template editor, you're going to have a front and a back tab. That's how you toggle between the front and the back. Making your edits and doing everything else is exactly the same as we've seen. You drag and drop your pictures over, you click on the text fields to change the text, okay, whether you're on the front or the back. That's what your postcard looks like. View proof, that's next. Okay, so again, view the proof, make sure it's good to go, front and back. Okay, when you're happy with it, we can start the farming process by picking our paper type and picking the postage that we want to do. How do we want this to be mailed? So again, we do all of our farming through Ultimate Imaging, the same company that does our printing. They're offering 3 different kinds of paper for the postcards. These are the prices. Let's say I want to do a really nice paper because it's a really special listing. Let's say I like the idea of first class, but I think I'm going to have more than 200. So let's choose first class 200 plus. Okay, and there's my pricing. Continue. I have to agree to the terms of use. Agree. And now it's going to bring me to the distribution page. So we also had a distribution page for the e-flyer. This one is a little bit different. We still have a Google map, just like we did for the e-flyer, and we still have a target area. So basically, to get you started, our system is going to create a small target area with around the listing address, right? Okay. Now, what I want to do is let the system update and let me know how many people are in this target area. Okay, 629. That's what it's going to cost. If I'm happy with that, then I'm happy with that. Step number 1, I can create and adjust my target area. Okay, so you'll notice just like in the e-flyer, I've got little handles on my target area. This means that I can click on them and I can change the shape of this. So let's say I want to come up to this street right up here, but then I don't want to include that street because that's like a government building. No one's going to live there. Let's say I want to go down here. Okay, so you see you can make whatever shape you want. It can be like a wacky shape. Just so you get everything included. I want to go right to the highway, but then I want to go right here, and I want this to go up here. Okay, so I'm just goofing around. Like this is downtown. I don't know how many people live right downtown in this residential area, but you get the idea. You can goof around and, you know, really get an exact crazy shape that suits the, you know, the neighborhood you want. Maybe there's a river and you want to like have your, you know, shape go alongside the river. You don't want to cross a highway. You want to get it exactly the way you want, okay? Now look, it's updated. Wow, I now have 4,397 people, and I'm sending this first class that's going to cost me $3,000. Obviously, that's too much. So my target area is too big. I can continue to tweak my target area, right, if I want to. Or I can carry on to the next step. So let's take a look and see what we can do for the next step. Okay, so step 1 is playing around with my target area. Next, step 2, I select my consumer list. I have 2 options. I can choose from general consumers, so that means all the households in my target area. If I'm happy with this and I just want it to go to everybody who lives here, I can hit continue, go to the shopping cart, pay my $3,000 and be done. Or if I want to customize who this is going to go to in this target area, I don't want to make my target area smaller, but I want to make sure that my postcard goes to only specific people targeted in this target area. I can choose a customized consumer list. Ding. Okay, once I choose that, I then get a bunch of filters that I can choose from, okay, that are going to make a big change. So if I scroll down, you can see I can choose things like age, age of adult, age of the head of the household, education levels, gender, whether they're a homeowner, marital status, like household income. I can choose property types, all kinds of stuff. Let's go up to the top. Let's just say that I've got a listing for a condo that's very suitable for someone who's downsizing. Maybe they're retiring and they're downsizing. So I'm going to choose an age. Let's just see what happens if I choose 50 to 59. This is going to update and it's going to give me a new number. Wow, look at that, 522. That's awesome. That's much more targeted. That's what I want. I don't want to send this out to 3,000 people. I only want to target people who are in a certain age group who are more likely to buy my condo. And it's done. It's dropped my number right down to here. There's my price. Okay, so you get the idea. You can go through this. The agents can go through this and they can tick as many filters as they want. This is going to constantly update, changing the number of recipients, changing the price. So they can play around in here as much as they want, getting it the way they want it. Once they get it the way they want it and they've got the right number of people, they're happy with the price, they can click continue. The last thing they're going to do here, they have the option under step 3 of adding an additional address to receive the postcard and omitting an address. So for example, if you want your client to also get the postcard you're sending out, but your client doesn't live in this target area, you can type in their information, their mailing address, and then they will also get a copy of the postcard. If for some reason you don't, maybe it's an old client and you're reselling the house and you don't want them to see something for whatever reason, you can put in someone's name that you do not want to receive this postcard if they happen to be in this target area. Okay? Once you're done, you hit continue, your order goes to the shopping cart, you pay for it, and that's it. It goes to Ultimate Imaging, they start the process, they print, and then your farming goes out. Okay? So that is how farming is going to work. Pretty simple to use, pretty nice to be able to make a totally, you know, custom target area, which is great because you can, and it's a Google map, so I can zoom way out like that so I can see what I'm doing. Maybe I want my target area to follow the curve of the highway and the river. It's just nice to be able to create it so it's not a square. It makes for a more targeted blast because you're paying for every single postcard. You might as well have them go to people that you want. All right, back to my dashboard. Okay, we have just gone through the tour and the marketing products. Okay, it's break time. So it is 10, well for me it's 10 to 9, for you guys it's 10 to 11. Do we want to take a 10-minute break? Why don't we do that? Why don't we come back at 11 o'clock your time, 9 o'clock my time, okay? I'll stop the recording and we'll all meet back here in 10 minutes. Everyone can get a drink, use the restroom, check your phones, and we'll pick up in 10 minutes with Amanda doing the second half of the session. Okay? We'll see you guys in 10 minutes.
Okay. All right, guys. So
we're ready to roll.
Oh, okay, perfect. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take a look at what we refer to as our branding tools. So as opposed to the tools that Jana just reviewed that are designed for advertising the agent's listings, and to an extent farming can also be used as a branding tool. As Jana pointed out, some of our postcards are already sort of preset with information that the agents can share that are about, things like upkeep of a home, for example. You can use that to an extent for branding as well. However, today what we're going to look at is our newsletters, our listing presentations, and our e-signatures. So we'll start with our newsletters. And again, as Jana pointed out, everything begins on your dashboard. Click your newsletters, and we have that same familiar look of page. Now, in the case of newsletters, they're not listing specific. So what you're going to have is simply two separate areas. One is for ready to send newsletters, and one is ready for build my own newsletters. The difference between the two are that the ready to send are exactly as they sound. They're already written, they've already got images in them, and all you have to do is send them. Whereas the build your own newsletters allows you to create a newsletter straight from scratch using a blank template. So with everything, you can see that you can go back in and edit, and in these cases you also get the option to download a PDF. Once you've paid, you can create a PDF for printing purposes. But today we're going to create a new one from scratch, so we'll go to create newsletter, and here you get the chance to see, if you're new to this, you can sort of get a brief overview of the differences between two. You sort of get a picture to see the differences. And in this case, let's start with the ready to send newsletter. Now, this is going to ask you to name your newsletter. The reason we do this is simply so that people can keep track of what they're ordering. This is what they'll see in the two folders that we just showed you. So in this case, let's just call it December and gold list, because this is who we're going to send it to, and this is when we're sending it. This is the way I save them, but people can save them however you want. All right, so then again, you recognize this familiar navigation bar, and what we've got here is a template library. Now, in this case, we've done a bit of a difference here the way we've set them up. We've got two ways of looking. We've got view by category, and as you can see, there are numerous categories here. And this allows people to take their time and browse through all the different things. We've got very specific things, eco-living. We've got fun things, entertaining. We've got some really great handy things for first-time buyers with little tips. We've got buyer's tips. We've got seller's tips. There's everything you can imagine. So you can look at them that way. But then just for convenience purpose, if you're the kind of person, if you're an agent that maybe wants to send something out every month or a couple of times a month, then conveniently you just have to click on the month in question, and you're going to see the ones that are logical that will be good to send out at that time of year. So in this case, obviously, Christmas, very prominent here, and the same idea, preview. If you want to take a look, you can read what this is all about, take a look at the images. If that sounds like a good one to send, you just click select and it pops up. Now, we're a little bit different on this area because we're not going to have the need to upload images, so you're not going to have to worry about anything like that. Everything is already in place here for you. This template is not editable. You cannot edit any aspect of the actual physical newsletter. However, we do allow you to make changes to your contact details, and that will happen in real time. So let's just take a look. If I scroll down to the bottom here, so maybe I want to just remove my title, and bam, it will just remove there. Okay? The other thing that we offer here is the opportunity to add social media. The reason we do this is that this is a big thing with agents right now. They like to have their social media and share their information with people that way. All they have to do is paste in their information. I'm just going to put a couple of W's here just to sort of fake it. And what's going to happen is that will provide, oh, I always do that. That will provide them with little icons, so people, when they receive the newsletter, will be able to click those icons. The next thing that we can do here is add a personal message. The reason we allow people to do this is because, as I said, this is not editable, so they cannot click here and put anything. But this allows them to put, actually, they can go long and deep with a message. They could go into like all kinds of information about the market, or in a sort of more cheerful thing like this where they just want to wish somebody a Merry Christmas. They just send, they can just put in a little mini message here, Merry Christmas, and sign it, and they're good to go. The next thing we offer are headshots. The reason we do this is, again, you never know. People might have a number of different ones. Who knows? They might have done a cute little headshot of themselves with a Santa hat that they want to send for this as an example. We allow you here to click the X if you do not want to send a headshot. See, that removes it. Or just click on the one that you want to send and it will re-add it. For logos, again, the same thing works. Once you feel like everything's all set to go, you want to click continue, or again you can use the view proof, and this is where you add the subject line. So unlike where we saved the name, here we're going to add what the people are going to see in the actual physical email that lands in their inbox. Whew, I don't know why that was so hard to say. So here, Merry Christmas is just all we're going to put, just for convenience sake. I've got it saved. And here we are, we land on the view proof page. So here, this is where you're going to get a chance to look at everything. You've got your little message here. You've got all your contact information. See right this area here is the little one that I added, my personalized message. It appears above. And it's a great way to sort of introduce, like for example, if you were sending something like buyer tips, you could just put, hey, thought you might like this. Now that we're working together, here are some great buyer tips that I wanted to share with you. And again, your contact information is right at the bottom here, and as you notice, you see the little icons for the social media links. Now, once you've done that, everything's good to go, and as Janice said, especially this area, you want to make sure that you haven't got any typos or anything weird in there that you don't want anybody to see before you go. If you do want to make changes, it's the same idea where you either click edit here or template editor, and you'll go back here to make your changes. But since everything's fine, we'll carry on to our distribution options. Now, in the case of these types of newsletters, there's really no need to use the Map Blast tool. The reason being, these aren't intended to share with other agents. These are intended to share with an agent's clients. So they're going to want to use this tool like Jana had demonstrated. They're going to want to upload their own lists. They can do a CSV that they've saved in Excel. They can import Gmail, they can import Yahoo, or they can just enter them here physically and save them, click them, they're ready to go. And that's the distribution options. Then last but not least here, we offer two ways of paying. The first one is actually a great idea for people that want to use these on a regular basis. It's a subscription that's monthly. It's automatically removed from their credit card, so it auto charges, so they don't have to worry about it every month. And it's only $19.99, and that is for absolute endless use. So they can send 20 newsletters a month if they chose. The other option is, maybe they're just going to send 1 or 2 out a year. They maybe want to do something for Thanksgiving. They want to do something for, Valentine's Day, whatever they want to do, Merry Christmas type of thing. Then they would choose the one-time use, and that's $29.99 for that single newsletter that they're sending out. So that's the first choice for our branding. This is the perfect, very affordable keep in touch tool for your agents. It's a really great tool, and quite frankly, you guys could even use it. Send out, your little Merry Christmas messages and stuff. It's a great little tool to use. So that's the ready to send. Going back, we'll show you how to do, why isn't it clicking? Oh, there we go. We're going to show you how to do the build my own. So again, you're going to do create, and this time you're going to choose the build my own. Again, we're going to name it. I'm just going to say sample here because to save time. Okay, now in this case, along the lines of what Jana showed you for the print materials, we have an additional step that you want to go into because there's different types of templates. So we've got a left sidebar, right sidebar, horizontal, and columns. And it's just the different sort of formatting of what it looks like. So we can take a look here. See this one, it's got the left. This one, it's got the right sidebar. This one is horizontal across this way, and then this one is columns, just so you see the difference. So they've got a few choices of what they can go with. Once they decide, I'm just going to go with this one because it's the first, they can choose, and again that familiar navigation appears across here, familiar template categories. In this situation, I'm going to sort of, I think I'll go for the holidays again since it's Christmas, and they've got some pretty little choices here that you can choose from. Again, if you want preview, you can get a look at what it looks like, get to see the colors and everything. Select. Now, this is a very complicated tool to use. This one is a little bit more complicated. Not that many people use it because, first of all, why would you when you can send out a ready to send? Second of all, it is more time consuming because everything has to be done physically on the template. So although you do got your pretty little heading here, you've got your branding that's auto-populated at the bottom, you do have to enter everything on your own. So unlike the ready to send, you do have the option here to add photos because we are not providing photos of any kind or copy of any kind. So this is just done the same way. You can just upload an image. I'm just going to grab a random one here just to get it over with here, which by the way is not a very nice one. It's from a funny listing. Okay, so this works the exact same way as your print builder and your e-flyer builder. You just click and drag and drop and it falls into position. For copy, and it always tells you what to do so that people aren't guessing, just add copy as you want. And the wonderful thing about this is that it can remain short if you want it, but if for some reason you have tons of information, this actually will physically grow as you enter information. The other thing that you can do is, if you notice down here, you've got a little toolbar. This is similar to the tools that you use for editing your the template editor that you have in e-flyers and print. It offers you the chance to, change it, make it bold. You can choose here a different family to make the look of the font different. You can do, as Jana was showing, the same here. It will move everything around. The other option you have here is to even add links. Maybe somebody wants to add a link about an article they want to share with somebody. So this is a much more complicated tool. If anyone is interested in learning how to use this tool on a one-on-one or smaller groups, we'd be happy to show you because it does take quite a bit to go through. It's got a lot of details to learn, but those were just the basics that I reviewed with you. Now, this as well allows you to do your social media, personal message, which quite frankly you really don't need here because you can just enter it here, but some people like to have it appear above like we had showed you with the ready to send, and again your headshots and logos can be added. Once you're okay with everything, you continue, and again this is where you're going to add your subject line that's going to appear in the email when it arrives. Save that, and you'll get a look at it just like before. This page also, like if you had added, say, a link, you can check that by clicking it to make sure the link is correct. And again, you'll get a last chance to look at everything, your branding, etc. Everything is good to go. You can click continue. If not, edit, go back to your template editor. Click continue if all is good. Now, in this case, we do offer the opportunity to use our eBlast tool. The reason being that in this situation you might want to, some people will actually do an actual newsletter for a listing, and it would be common more for something like maybe they're doing selling for new builds and they've got a different, maybe many different models, for example, so they want to list the details of each model, that kind of thing. And again, you can also do the add your own contacts, so you have both options here, and this is charged in the same manner as we charge for the eBlast tool. So you would be charged based on the amount of email addresses collected between the Map Blast and the contacts you add. Okay, so in a nutshell, that is our build your own newsletters. So moving on, we're going to go on to listing presentations. So as the name indicates, listing presentations, we're providing templates to prepare for the presentations to new clients for agents. Again, you're going to end up here. You're going to see anything that's already created in the account where you have the chance to edit it, delete it if you don't need it. And also, once it's been paid for, you can download a PDF for printing or download the actual entire presentation that can be used to put on DVDs or something as a leave behind. When you want to create new, as with everything, you click Create Presentation, and in this case we have, again, a little bit of a different template library. Here you have the choice to choose a template, but you also have the choice of choosing a color. Working along the same lines as you would with a tour, you're going to want to choose a color that sort of is part of your corporate colors or that you're using for your, like that's shown in your logo, that sort of thing. Have the same opportunity to check the previews. We've got 3 different types of templates available. Let's go with something red this time, and I'm going to show you the preview here just because it will give you an idea of what's added in this. Now this is quite a thorough book. There's 39 pages and it's got all kinds of things. It lists all the types of things that you might need. It goes into your profile information. It's got information about pricing, strategy. It's got all kinds of things, staging strategy tips, all kinds of stuff that you might want to mention. To choose and get started, you select, again, this is just naming it based on, I usually would do it under the name of the residence, so I'm presenting to the Murrays. That's what I usually name it by, but again, it can be named whatever you want. This takes a little bit longer to generate, A, because we're on Webby, and B, because it's, you know, like several pages. So we'll just wait for that. Sorry if it takes a bit of time due to the Webby. All right, so again, you're getting your navigation bar above here so you can pop back and forth while you're working. You do have the option to upload an image, but the only page it can be used is here on the cover page, and the reason we offer this is so that they can usually want to maybe put the person's the outside shot of the person they're presenting to, maybe their actual property on the outside. It can be named whatever you want, and it works the same way any of our tools work. It's the drag and drop for the image on the front page. Everything else you just click and you can change as you do with our e-flyers in print. And again, it also will generate in real time as you make your changes. So you can just flip through the pages, take a look, but what we've done here that's really nice and makes it really easy is that we've provided all of the images, so everything is visually very nice to look at. All of the text boxes are editable. However, what's very good to know here is that as you go through it, there are some things here that are going to give a warning. You need to enter your own text. This is filler. However, as you move forward on different sections, these ones are personalized, so this is all stuff where you have to add. Let me just get here. So here, for example, the staging strategy section, we've actually provided copy here that's good to go. So if they want, they can just flip through here, read it, and say, you know what, that's all I wanted to say. That's perfect. Nice image in place. You can't edit the images, as I mentioned, but all of copy is editable. But in the case where it doesn't mention that it has to be replaced, it can be just kept there. It's perfect. It's ready to go. And as you flip through, you can just take a look at what you want to change, what you don't want to change. Very, very simple, very, very easy. And I'm just going to go to the very end. And this is where, once again, the branding, it's auto-populated from the information in the account. You've got a nice headshot. You've got the information. It can be edited if need be. So the presentation, another good thing to know about it is, what if we decide, maybe here, for example, here's testimonials. Maybe you're not going to mention testimonials. Any of the pages in this presentation can be deleted. All you have to do is delete it by clicking this little red X. So here, I'm just removing these testimonial pages because I don't want them. The beauty of this, though, is that once they're removed, they're not gone forever. You'll get a new little button here, Removed Pages. See, there you can see anything that you've removed, and you can restore it if you so chose. Alrighty, once everything's done, you are able to do your usual. You can look through everything, and this will show you what it's going to look like to the client when they're viewing it. It's got a nice little page turning feature that's quite cute. Makes it a little bit more exciting to watch. And again, you just go through, take a look at everything. Anything you want to change, go back to edit further, and you're good to go. Now, in the case of this, once you've ordered your listing presentation, what will happen is, I'm just going to show you here, you'll receive a listing presentation email letting you know that it's ready. It does take some time to generate because, as you saw, it's 40 pages. Once it's generated, this is sent out, and what the client can do is they have their options. They can download the PDF. Very important. Most people want to have a leave behind. They can use a PDF to print out, or as I mentioned, they can download it and they can put that on, say, a CD-ROM or DVD disc. And then last but not least is the actual physical link. And when you click this, you'll be sent to the presentation online, and this is what something can be shared. This is also perfect. They don't have to worry about lugging around anything with them. They can just bring their laptop, have the link ready, click it, and they can go online and present it live. So that is the listing presentation. The next thing that I want to bring to your attention, and Janet had sort of glazed over this when she was doing her first listing, when she was creating her first listing. That's our House Hunt tool. So House Hunt is something that we offer. It's a special additional website that agents are provided, and they can use it to show off their listings. I have one ready here to go. So basically what it does is each listing that somebody has within their Realtour account will appear on this Google map. And the beauty of this is that all of their listings will appear on the map. It works exactly like a Google map, so it allows them to show where it's located exactly. It pops up the information for all of their listings, and it even provides them, it will automatically add their tour, it will add their detail information, it will add their contact information. Like a Google map, they can search for amenities on the map, so maybe they want to look up restaurants. Just enter it here, and there they'll appear, so that if somebody likes to eat out a lot, they can see that in relation to the listing that they're looking at, where it's located. The beauty of this tool is that they're listed at the point where the listing is created in their account. So as Jana showed, that little pop-up will arrive. They can click whether they want to show it or not, and they can even check a date as to when they want it to appear. So, maybe they know that they're creating their listing right now in their account, but it's not going to be ready for viewing for quite a while, so they know the date's like 2 weeks away. They can enter that date, and at that point it will appear on the map. The other thing too is that it not only features their listings, so this little URL will allow them to connect it to anywhere they want. This is their own personal URL. They can use it on their email signatures, which I'll show next. They can also send it and share it on their website. They can post it to their social media. They can do whatever they want with it. And as well, if somebody is viewing this URL, they can then choose to look at all the listings, and this will then pop up all the listings that we have from all of our agents. The good thing about this is that then that's going to create a sort of a lead generation tool, so that even if somebody's not looking at your particular listings, if they're looking in this area, your listing will appear, and your contact information, they can look at your tour, etc., and that acts as a lead generation tool. And we're the only people that offer this, so it's a really unique opportunity to people, for your agents to have this tool. The other cool thing about this is it's even more effective than a listing catalog. They don't have to do any layout work or anything. They just use this little URL, add it every time they create a listing, and people have this as a listing catalog. They can just pop through, look at all the listings that appear, and it's good to go. So it's a really unique tool that only we offer. Okay, moving on to our last is our email signatures. Again, when you click on, you'll arrive here. This is going to show you the ones that are already in progress that you can edit, that you can delete them if you don't need them anymore, and then this is also where you would download from once you've created and paid for your tour. Sorry, your signature. To create it, you just click Create Instructions. Again, it's asking you to name. I'm just going to call it Test. Very important step here. Do you use Microsoft Office Outlook for your email account? The reason it's asking this is that has a very different, it has a different requirement than the rest of the email services. So what you would do is click Yes, and you'll be shown the specific templates designed for Outlook. If not, just click No, Save, and that starts the progress. So again, here's your navigation bar and here's your templates. This has two different options. There's left aligned, center aligned. You can preview. In this case, I'll select. Again, you're getting your template categories here. We'll look at holidays again since the holiday season. We've got everything fun little Halloween. And this is the beauty of this tool is that most people that are with a larger brokerage or real estate company, they don't need these because they're provided with a corporate version. However, for those people that are their own broker or they don't have one, they can create this. But also, even if you already have one, this is a really fun thing to do, which is just to sort of always be ready with something for the holidays. So you can just go in and select something whenever the holidays arrive. So this is a very easy to use tool. Everything is sort of what you see is what you get because your little template is going to be up here and it will show you the changes as you're making them. So here, for example, we're clicked on the main, which is all your contact information. Again, maybe we don't want to have our title showing for this reason. It deletes automatically above. The next thing, view my listings. This is where House Hunt ties in. If you wish to show your listings through House Hunt, you just click the above the top button and it will allow you to, but you also have the option to add your own link. Maybe it's to your website or wherever you have all of your listings, and you also have the option to say I don't want to show them and it will just remove the listing there. But here we'll just have the view my listings. Again, social media, the same premise, just copy over your links. And last but not least, we have a disclaimer. We have a little mini one here that just is like the very bare bones, but they can just copy and paste their own disclaimer in here if they feel they need one. I know that a lot of people do have them, so it's a handy little thing to have. Or you can just click no and it will disappear. Yes, and as you can see there, it appears. Alrighty, so once you're satisfied with everything, click continue. And again, here you're able to do approve. Now, just one thing to point out that's very important about our email signatures is that all of our links are live. So anything that you add is going to go to that website. So that's a very, very good thing, especially if you want to show your listings, you want to show your website, etc. Okay? And then once it goes to your shopping cart, once you pay, you're able to download it. So we'll go back to the, sorry, my mouse is not participating the way it should. You can go back once you pay, and as I showed you down here, you'll see the difference is the ones that are paid for have the download option. So to get your signature, what you would click is download. Very, very important thing when you're doing this is to take note of where it's going. Mine automatically is going to downloads, which makes it easy to find, but sometimes people don't pay attention and it might go in their pictures or something and then they can never find it again. So always pay attention to where it's being saved. In my case, again, for simplicity, it lands in my lower bar here. So there are very, very many different types of email services, but the one thing that is common to all of them when you want to use your email signature is you're going to click on that little link that you provided. You're going to do Control A. Notice it's highlighted everything. And then when you go into your email service, what you'll do is paste it by doing Control V. One thing that we do is we offer instructions for everything. So we want to make sure that people are going to know how to do it for their specific email service. So once they've copied it, they can just go in here and look at the detailed step by step by step so that they're never lost and don't understand how to use it. Because that part can be a little complicated, not on our part, but on the part of their email service. But for the most part, it's pretty much copying and pasting it into the settings. So it's not too difficult. Okay, so that is the rest of that is sort of done all of our tools now. Does anybody have any questions at this point before we go into the very final part of the presentation, which is just going to be some selling tips? The signature options are, oh, I can't, Jana, what are the e-signatures?
Yeah, so we have two different kinds. We have the more corporate ones, which people would probably use for the majority of the year. Those ones are $18.99. And then the holiday fun ones are only $7.99. We've made them cheaper because people are only going to use them for probably 1 week. and it gives it gives you some incentive to maybe if you just want something fun over Christmas or over Halloween or Thanksgiving or Easter, you might be more likely to spend just $7.99 and have a fun one for a week. But the corporate ones that you would have attached to your email for probably the majority of the year, those ones are $18.99.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
Hello? Yeah, we've got a couple of questions.
Sure.
I guess we'll start with, is this exclusive to independents, or are there certain parts of it that are exclusive to independents?
Yes. So there's two things that are exclusive to you guys. First of all, nobody else has you have a branded site, so you have your own tools. Nobody else has that. Everybody else that would use this, and there actually really nobody else using this. There's only one other title company that uses right now, and that's in Houston, and they actually use our actual tools on our site. You guys have a customized branded site, so the tools are yours. The two things that are exclusive to you guys are the farming tool and the print tool.
Do you guys have a full, do you guys have a full cost sheet? Or I know you can customize each section of it as you go through, but is there a basic cost sheet that you guys have per section?
Actually, if you go onto the site, let me just get out of this and I'll show you. There's the pricing is right here.
Okay. Okay.
All right, and then the other thing too, and that we'll go into that detail now because we're going to take a look at how we're going to assist you with selling. We can also provide you any kind of sell sheets you want. So if you want a price list that you can print out and leave as a printed out version of that for handouts to your clients, we're happy to make that for you as well. Okay.
And then I guess the other question is, what control do we have as far as logins? Is there a way to track this, who, what, where, and when?
Yes, we are actually the first phase of this is going to be to launch this site for you guys so that it's ready to go. You can start signing people up using and getting them using the tools. As that's in progress, we will be working on excuse me, I can never say statistics for you guys to use, and we'll be able to provide you with user what they're doing, how they're using it, and be able to keep you up to date on that.
Will those statistics be agent specific? Like, will it say Amy agent is using X part of it and she's done it 16 times?
Well, yes, eventually.
Yes.
The first thing will be to have it by region. And then the other thing too is, just so you guys know, once everything is set up, we'll be able to send you some instructions on how you can actually just go into your client's actual accounts, and you'll be able to look at what they're doing. So if you really want to know what Amy was doing, you can just go in and check her shopping cart.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so that will really be helpful. But then once we get the statistics going, you'll be able to see how you're progressing, and it will be very helpful to help you track.
As far as our specific branded on the website, let's say an agent went to you guys directly versus using our website, are they getting a discount or a better deal by coming through independents than they would just going directly to your website?
No, that's actually, you're not allowed to do that legally. It has to be provided at the same market prices, at market rates.
Okay.
Yeah. I did mention though at the last meeting too, because Kara was present, you probably could do a group rate, but even then it's probably stepping on the toes of the law, because you're not really allowed to offer things to agents for free or at a discounted price.
Sure. Yeah, I just didn't know if yeah, if it was. I mean, I know that there are some services out there that if they log through independents directly, they get a little bit better deal with some other things that we use. But
yeah, there is, however, just FYI, for the print services, for the print materials, for the postcards, you do have an exclusive price for that. So they're provided at a very, very good discounted price.
okay.
Yeah, and that's to help you remain competitive. I think it's FATCO that are the ones that are offering a farming service and a printing service.
We've got First American and Stewart are the two big that offer that stuff up. So
Yeah, so that should help you keep quite competitive with those two guys.
okay, thanks.
Okay, cool. Is that it? Questions?
For us it is. Thanks.
Alrighty. Okay, so let's just move on and we'll be able to get this finished nice and within reason so that everybody's not too tired. So one of the things we wanted to do last on our list here is just to help you overcome objections that you might encounter when trying to sell Realtour. And the only reason we do that is just in the light of the fact that you need to familiarize yourself more with the tools before you can start selling them effectively. And this is a really good starting point to give you some great selling tips on what makes Realtour the better tool. Okay? Now, with anything, and you guys don't need to be told this because you're salespeople, but the best thing to do is start every conversation when you're trying to sell these tools and find out what company the agents are using for their marketing materials. There's two reasons to do this. The number one reason is you need to figure out if they already are using Realtour. And you want to know that up front because you want to then be able to drag them over and point out the exclusive things that you guys have that they don't get as just being a Realtour person. They have to be an independent Realtour person to get the special things such as the farming and print that we discussed. So that's the best way to start. So again, if they already use Realtour, you want to let them know that you now have a very specific marketing suite that's been created specifically for independents. Let them know that their Realtour account is still maintained. The difference being that they can log in from your site now and that they're being offered exclusive printing and farming tools that are not offered anywhere else. This is also the perfect opportunity to offer to do a demo for them of the site and these specific tools. You can show them how to use them. And they can only access those tools if they are accessing from your marketing suite on your site. So this is a good way to show them how to sign on, how to do these things. And again, if they are somebody that's had an account for a while, just email me and I'll pop up my email at the end of this presentation here and let me know their name and their email address and I'll add them to your group so that they do automatically land on the independence title when they log on from your account. Okay? Even if they try to log on from our account, I think if they're in your group, they'll land on your specific pages. Now, the unfortunate thing that could happen is you might ask them who they're using and then bring up Realtour and they might be like, oh, I used Realtour but I stopped. Now an important thing to remember is you don't really want to have to sell this as Realtour anyways because these are now your branding tools. They're branded for you. They're your marketing suite, so you don't necessarily have to bring up Realtour. It's just that if they do, then you want to sort of be able to speak to the fact that it is powered by Realtour because that will be a positive. But if they didn't like Realtour, you want to find out what they didn't like about us, and then hopefully throughout this presentation you'll find something to refer to help to sort of bring them back on board. Mention again that we now have provided you with these specialty printing and farming tools that are customized and again offered. That's a perfect in to get that demo in there for them. Mention also we've made many improvements to our services, so depending on if they're back even 2 years or even 1 year, there's been so many changes to the site you might want to sort of reintroduce it to them, see if they might be able to come on board based on some of the new things that we're offering and some of the upgrades that we've made to our marketing tools. Last but not least, a lot of times people don't like a service like Realtour basically because they've set up their account and then they've decided that they don't need to be shown how to do it and they're just going to try to do it on their own. Some people do very well because our tools are pretty instinctive and when they are using them it's easy for them to use. But if somebody's not as computer savvy, they're going to have a hard time regardless of what tools they're using. So a lot of times it's just a matter of saying to them, you know what, let me provide you some training. So whether you do it with them sort of as a bonding tool or you set it up with us, Janet can do one of her one-on-one tutorials for them. That's another way to bring them back on board and to sort of really get engaged and start using Realtour again because they'll know how to do it properly and they'll see how much time it saves when they know how to do it properly. So I already use such and such a company to send my e-flyers. That can happen. That's not, out of the question that somebody would say that. So mention to Realtour that we have one of the best lists in the business. It's really, really important for them to understand that everything we do for our list is done in real time. As soon as somebody asks to be unsubscribed, they're removed. As soon as somebody asks to be added, they're added. We also offer a decreasing price schedule so that they're always paying less money the more that they send out. And in most cases, we've done the research, we're probably charging half the price of our competitors. A lot of that's because they're charging flat rates, often for an entire county or zip code. You don't really have the opportunity to choose like you do with us, specific areas. So they're paying for all those additional names that they don't really want. As well, just mention to them that we do allow them to target as many areas as they want or as small an area as they want using our map tool, so they're not stuck with these counties and zips that they're forced to use with our competitors. The last thing to mention to them is that we do maintain a top rating by major IPs because we're very compliant to CAN spam rules, which means that they're e-flyers are being sent out by a very respected service and are not going to be blocked as often by spam filters. Now, if they say they don't trust our e-flyer system, it's a little bit different than saying that they use somebody else. This is where it really comes in handy to understand a little bit about how e-flyers in general work. So first of all, make sure that they understand that we adhere to all the CAN spam rules. And again, as mentioned, this is because we want to make sure that we're not being blocked by spam filters. It helps us to lessen the risk of their e-flyers landing in spam filters. The way that e-flyers work is that they get sent out and they're going to a bunch of different email addresses, and those email addresses are on our list mostly by choice. So in that situation, it's allowing us to once again avoid these spam filters. Spam filters are looking for the same thing, so it doesn't matter if it's coming from our e-flyers or somebody else's. It's going to block based on the same criteria. It's a very long list of criteria, and I'd be happy to share that information with any of you that are interested. We could give you some sell sheets to that effect that you can share with people as well. Another thing that comes into play with e-flyer systems that sometimes make an agent not trust our system, they don't realize that their own email settings have blocked us. Their companies can have very, very strict screening situations where their firewalls are preventing things like a Realtour flyer to enter. But again, it's not just us that's going to be blocked by that. It would be any company that's coming in that way. And there's ways that we can help to show them how to avoid blocking e-flyers so that they get their copies and they know that everybody in their agency is going to get those copies as well. The other thing too is we depend on our stats as a really good point of proof to show people that yes, you know what, your flyer got sent out, these are the people that have opened it so far, these are the areas that have looked at it, so that they do know that there's something that they can look at to depend on the fact that they can trust our system. And then another final thing is, again, people maybe get cranky because they've received something from us when they didn't want to. However, if they ask us to unsubscribe, we unsubscribe them right away. There's two reasons, because first of all, it keeps us up on the pages with CAN spam rules, but second of all, that way our clients aren't paying for names that don't want to hear from them. It's not fair for us to keep names on there that are going to get angry at them for sending it out. So we try to maintain our list and keep all unsubscribed agents off our list at all times in real time. So they might say that they're already using so-and-so to create their e-flyers. This is a little bit of a different situation. These are people that are perhaps working with a graphic designer, a graphic agency, or a print company in some cases that's doing their actual design work for them. Point out to them that we are much more affordable than a design company. Our templates are DIY, and there's hundreds of them to choose from. They don't have to deal with the agony of going back and forth with proofing with designers. They can send it the same day because they're ready to go. They can automatically send a proof, as Janice showed, to their clients so that they can get that approval done. Their if you're using our e-flyer system, then they come with a free print flyer, and it doesn't just have to be the one-sided flyer. It can be any of the templates we have. So it can be the four-page brochure, it can be postcards. They can create whatever they want associated with listing, however they want, and that's free. And then the other thing too is on our dashboard you'll note that there's going to be a circle for virtual assistant and graphic designer. Two things. If they really want to have a graphic designer do it, we can do it, and much more affordably than their current person is. I can pretty much guarantee it. Second of all, our virtual assistant will use our existing templates and they will build their product for them. So they'll do the marketing materials for them at a very, very low price. So those are two things to keep in mind if there's somebody that's not wanting to use our e-flyers based on design and somebody else creating them for them. Last but not least, if it's a situation where their agency is insisting that they use their templates, their designer, their in-house graphic team, that sort of thing, point out to them that they don't have to miss out on using our actual e-blast tool if they're sort of stuck with using their own artwork. The reason being is that we also provide a blank template, and all they have to do is get the artwork saved in an 8.5 by 11 size, and it either a JPEG or PDF, uploaded as an image, and then they can drag and drop it into our blank templates. So that is a great, great thing to keep in mind as well if you come up against this type of comment. Okay, so photography. Someone might mention that their photographer is using such and such a company for their tours. So the reason that we like our tours and that a lot of our clients like our tours is because our tours are generated by the agent or the photographer. Most of our competitors, they force their photographers to sort of build the actual tour for them. The agent cannot go in and make changes. And that's a pain because, as you know, pricing is volatile. Differences come up with the tours that they might want to make changes. They want to make the change and not have to worry about getting a hold of their photographer, asking them to make the change, proofing the change, and then it going live again. They can make their own changes in real time live and not have to worry about that whole thing back and forth. The other thing too is, although a lot of other tour companies now do offer a free flyer, not an e-flyer but like a print flyer, we offer more than just that flyer. Again, they're allowed to choose anything they want. It can be the brochure, the single or two-sided flyer, it can be the postcards, and then they also have the option of using our printing and farming services in hand with that freebie. So that's a couple of the things that are sort of make us a little bit better with our tours than the standard tours that a lot of their photographers might be using. But again, point out to them that's not an issue. They can still use another person's tour and link and add that to their e-flyers if they chose to. Here it's all about using a printer that they like. Now here there's a couple of things to talk about. First of all, it's okay if they have a printer that they like because they can use any of our templates. As Janet demonstrated, they can build whatever they want in our print system and then they can just email it to the printer of their choice. But we do also have a very good price for our postcards that, as we discussed, again, they're not worrying about third-party proofing back and forth. We offer the opportunity to send some low quantities if they want to. They have free pickup. Well, for you guys it won't be because you're not in Austin, but if for some reason you did deal with somebody in Austin, they do have free pickup at our printers, and they can use the artwork to send automatically to their clients and or to the printer of their choice if they're talking about specifically a printer. If they're talking about so-and-so doing their farming, and if it is one of those other title companies, the good news is that I don't know if you got a really good feel for this system that we've done here for you. This is a custom tool and nobody offers something like this. Most people are working with Every Door Direct, and Every Door Direct has tons of issues that it really actually ends up, first of all, costing them a lot of money. Second of all, if they're using Every Door Direct, they have to choose often multiple post offices, and the multiple post offices then have to have the exact quantity delivered to that post office to get their postcards out there. The other thing too is ours is very targeted. As Jana demonstrated, they have the ability to just downsize to specific filters that cover everything from personal information on age to the net income. It has information about the types of properties. I know somebody had entered in a question about, is it to apartments and houses? They can do it to whoever. They can do it to condos. They can do it to apartments. They can do it to single. They can do it to multiple homes. So however they want to do it, they can downsize, and then that affects the bottom line of what they're paying. They also have the choice of doing a very specific targeted area using this tool, and everything is given to them in the pricing that they want. It lands on the amount that they want to hit. They can keep an eye on the budget and know exactly what they're going to pay for. Really, our farming system, I don't really think that you're going to beat our farming system, and once your site is live and you get a chance to play with it, I think you'll really be impressed with how specific and targeted it can be. I already have a photographer I like. This is not too much of an issue because just let them know that's cool. You know, they can use whatever images they want. It's the main thing that you want to do is get them using the tools. So just, you know, say that's absolutely fine. We can upload those images for you. You can use them in all of our tools. It's ready to go across the board in anything that they want to use. But then just sort of remind them of the simple process of using our photographers, show off some of the portfolios that are just stunning. You know, let them see how simple it is to order something. Let them see that they can even check the weather. I mean, silly, but it's important for photography. Show them the pricing, and you know, you never know, you might bring somebody on board, you know, to start using our photographers, or at least give them a try. If they say that, you know, that whoever they're using does all the same stuff, we really beg to differ because we actually do everything. We are the one-stop shop. So you guys now have a one-stop marketing suite. They don't have to go anywhere else. They can do everything that they need to. Virtual tours, print, they've got their e-flyers, then they've got all the stuff that they want to use like newsletters, they've got the email signatures, they've got the listing presentations. So everything can be done in that one account. So not everybody does the same as us. We're probably the only company, and now you are, offering this marketing suite specific to your own branded suite that has everything that they need. Very important. The other thing that you want to bring up is if they're sort of saying that there's really nothing different that we're offering, go back to this house hunt tool. This house hunt tool is a very, very unique tool, and it allows them to do whatever they need to do. It shows off all of the listings. It gives the information one-off or, you know, on an entire list that they can see. It's way more effective than any listing catalog that they want to make. Everything can be automatically added at the point that they create their listing. It can be time sensitive, so they can set the date of when they want it to go up, and of course they can take it down at any time when they set their listings to inactive. So really get to know this, and again, we could maybe set up a demo for you guys separately with a little bit more intensity on House Hunt to get an idea of how it works and the value of this tool, because it really, really is something that nobody else offers anywhere. For some reason, a lot of people think that our tools are not compatible with social media. We've already showed you for the virtual tour that you can upload it automatically to YouTube, the other sites as well. But the other thing to keep in mind is even for our e-flyers and our newsletters, they all come with a click here to view link. When this link is clicked, they will be given a URL, and that URL can be posted into any of their social media pages. They just got to copy it and post it directly into their posts, and then what will happen is they'll get the images automatically will upload there, and then it also provides a link. The link can be clicked and they'll be able to have this on their website. And one thing I can't stress enough, if people are keeping up with always having new posts for social media is absolutely terrible. It is impossible. And an agent has to do something more than just post their listings. Nobody cares if they're just posting their listings. By using our newsletters, what they can do for $19.99 a month is just actually even just send the newsletter to themselves, get the link, and have a post every week. For $19.99 dollars a month, they can have endless use of social media posts, and everything is already written. They've got a cute little comment that they can list. You know, here's some great Merry Christmas tour. You know, it's gardening season. It's summer barbecue seasoning. Here's some great recipes. That's all the stuff that's available in those newsletters, and they can be using that as a really cheap and easy way to have posts every day, every week, whenever they want. So keep that in mind when it comes to social media as a great selling tool as well. I don't like their templates. So as I mentioned, first of all, it's probably impossible for them to have looked at all of our templates because there's hundreds of them. So chances are you will be able to find something in there that they like. However, if it's somebody that was there, I mean, maybe even up to 6 months ago, we did add some beautiful new modern ones that have been added there. We've added some new open house ones. We've added a bunch of nice new postcards as well. But even if that doesn't work, we have a graphic design service, as I mentioned, and we do customized templates for people. And then those templates are uploaded into their specific account, and they can use them for any of our products. And it's very, very affordable, and they can use them whenever they want, and we can do as many as they want for a very, very reasonable price of $50. So it's $50 per template. And that would then be used across both the print and e-flyers. The other affordable option is our virtual assistant, because our virtual assistant can pretty much build any of their products for them. But another thing that the virtual assistant can do is take a template that they like. So say if they like one of the modern designs, but it's not in the color they like. Maybe their headshot's not big enough. Maybe they want to tweak the font that looks more along the brand. Then we can create for them a fine-tuned customized template from one of the existing templates. That's only $19.99, and again, that's uploaded into their account for their specific use, and it's got all the specifics that they really wanted on the template they liked, but it's got the color, it's got the font, it's got exactly what they were looking for. So that's a great thing to keep in mind as well. Now, very common, because our tools are DIY, people might say they don't have the time, they don't have the desire, they don't have the skills to be building their own. Again, our virtual assistant is the one that's going to save you there. We will provide that person to build those marketing materials using our DIY tools. All they have to do is provide us with the MLS listing, some images, etc., and we'll build everything for them. It saves tons of time. We know how to use our tools. It takes us literally seconds to build stuff for them, and it's available at a very, very affordable price. I mean, it's $9.99 to build an e-flyer, for example, $5 if they used our photography services. The other thing to know, too, about our virtual assistant service is this is a great way for you guys to be a hero. If you have somebody that's in a bind, a lot of our agents don't even actually build the products by themselves. They have their assistant pop on and build it. We've had people call us in an absolute panic because they need to get something out, but they don't know how to use it because their marketing assistant was the one that did it. They just quit. They've called in sick, and their marketing assistant isn't there. We will become the person that will build that for them at a very low price. If you have somebody in a panic like that, then you can become a hero and say, hey, no problem, we'll build it for you. And just let us know what it is, and we will have it ready for them to go, and you know, you've saved their day. So that's a great way to sort of be there for them in a pinch. It's too expensive. Absolutely not. As I mentioned, we are probably the most affordable when it comes to e-flyer pricing, but also everything that we do comes with something free. So as Jana pointed out, photo shoots, you're getting your free high-end platinum virtual tour and free use of our print creator where they can do the flyers, brochures, postcards, whatever they choose. All of our e-flyers, free bronze tour, free use of our print creator tour. The other thing too is all of the printing orders has endless use. So when they place their when they create one thing, so if they've created a flyer or a brochure or a postcard, they can also then go back in and create a brochure like an additional piece, if you know what I mean. So they build one, but then they can build any of the other things and download that PDF. When they're using printing services, the actual PDF, which is $9.99, is free. House Hunt is free. And listing presentations, it's a one-time fee of $39.99, and then they can just use that over and over and over again as long as they use the same template. They can't change the color or the template, but as long as they use it, they can just keep updating it and re-downloading it and getting it generated again for free. So again, very, very affordable. I did not like their statistics, and to be honest with you, a year ago, if someone had, we would have said the same thing. We weren't so happy with them. And this is one of the things, as Jana mentioned, that we're very responsive to people's feedback. We were getting people saying, ugh, I don't like the statistics, they're not specific enough. So we went and created what we probably would say is easily some of the best in the industry. One of the really big selling points for our new statistics is we've added a heat map, and this is an excellent tool for e-flyers. When somebody sends out an e-flyer, they can then go in and track exactly where the responses were the best. And the reason this works really well is that a lot of people will send out their first e-flyer. Maybe it's an announcement, say, for a open house, for example. They can go back in and see where the most response was. The dark areas is where they got the best, this pale area, not so good. So therefore, if they say maybe they do a price reduction or they're doing a second open house with a free lunch or something like that, all they need to do is then zone in on these little areas here and save themselves tons of money from, you know, doing an area that's targeted, or even just say, you know what, ugh, I didn't like that area. I'm going to use these, but then I'm going to maybe go a little bit further to the west. So great tool. And then everything, oops, sorry. Everything has overviews. They can look at things daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. So everything is there at their fingertips. The other thing that we improved, we used to send out a weekly email for every single listing. So some poor agent that's got, you know, 10, 15 listings is getting 10 or 15 emails. We've downsized that to a single weekly email that has all of their listings listed, and then they've got the links to those statistics for each one so they can check it out and look at it that way, as opposed to having all of those things coming in. They still can share their stats reports with their clients via email, and overall it's a really great tool for them to use now. Again, if you wanted to get a little bit more specific details on how the statistics work, let us know and we can do a mini seminar for you guys on how to read statistics so that you can be more helpful and also sell better. So moving to the last section, we just wanted to give you an idea of some of the things that we're able to do for you guys to offer some marketing tools that you can use to sell your marketing suite. Now, as we already discussed, we have sell sheets, and we can make those specific to each of you so that you have your contact information, your headshot, your logo, whatever you want to include on there. Those are sort of generic sell sheets. However, we can do price sheets, we can do specific sell sheets if you want to go out and just get that farming and printing as something that you're focusing on. We can do that. So just let us know what you want and we'll create those for you. Just email me, and this is up here so everybody maybe just take a note of that. I'll be your contact for anything moving forward. The other thing too, the newsletters that we demoed, we can do customized newsletters for either the region or we can do it for the individual reps. What we'll do is we'll create a customized header for you, customized contact information, and then we can do whatever you want. You can either provide us with information, we'll write it up for you, we have images available, we can do some research and make some recommendations of stuff that we can put in there, and it will all be prepared for you, and then we'll upload it into each of your accounts and you can send it to your own agents. So whoever's on your contact list, and we can do that on a monthly basis for you. If something special comes up, for example, maybe you have a new service that you want to introduce, we could do something special for that as well. As we mentioned, customized training courses and tutorials are available. They're available one-on-one, they're available for groups. We can do special demos for you guys if you want to do, maybe you have a brokerage that you're sort of targeting and you want to do a big demo to them about it. We can set up a similar tutorial to what we've done here, not the full gamut though, like we would never do anything that intense, but we could if you wanted. It's up to you guys, however you want to do it. Those are ongoing. We can even do seminars, so maybe you want to do a marketing seminar and we can sort of talk to them about how to use our newsletters, you know, great marketing tips for, you know, when listing season is over, how to keep in touch, that kind of thing. So again, think of something like that. We're happy to do it for you. We're providing ongoing training for your team. You don't get something, you don't understand something, you just let us know, and we are there for you. And as you know, you can also just pop on chat or support if you need to talk to us during the day. You can email me or Jana, and we'll be there to help you. And again, responsive updates, we're always there. When you have suggestions from your clients, let us know, suggestions from yourselves. That's how we are constantly improving our tools, because we listen to people and we change them, we update them. Whenever something makes sense to us, sometimes it's just one person that says it and we think, wow, that's a great idea, and we do it. Other times it's something that sort of pops up a lot and we prioritize based on that. So if we're hearing something that comes up a lot that people aren't liking or they're finding frustrating, then we'll focus that and we'll pop that up to the top of our list for our ongoing improvements. And then last but not least, if you hit something that somebody might bring up to you during a presentation that we haven't mentioned on the list of objections, please by all means let me know, and we'll help you and sort of do an update on some things that will help you overcome those objections as well. Okay, so that is that. That's it. We're done the tutorial. So this is great time for further questions if anybody has them.
You guys can also email if you think of questions later. You could like gather them in a list and then send them to us as well, and we can always address them. As Amanda said, we're always here, so if you think of something next week that you need help with, just fire us an email, or as Amanda said, jump on chat, because we're on chat too. And I'm going to post the recording of today's session onto YouTube this afternoon, and then we'll send you guys a link so you can rewatch this whole thing or just chunks of it whenever you want.
And we'll also give you a copy of this for the objections, just so you have it, something to review if you're about to go out on the road and talk about this stuff. You'll be able to take a quick look at it just to refamiliarize yourself with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so so that's it, no questions? Okay. All right, so good luck out there. We look forward to the launch of the site. And as we said, keep in touch. We're here for you. Any information that you need, we're happy to provide it.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.